opinions expressed by the host, callers, and guests are not those of the BlueBroadcastNetwork.com, Envisage Production Enterprises, DDV Media, LLC, its advertisers, sponsors, or employees.
Trooper Joseph Gallagher, New York State Police, end of watch March 26th, struck by vehicle. Sergeant Shane Owens, Broward County Sheriff's Office, Florida, end of watch March 27th, cause of death COVID-19. Reserve Deputy Sheriff James Driver, Monroe County Sheriff's Office, Indiana, end of watch March 29th, cause of death automobile crash. Trooper Chad Walker, Texas Department of Public Safety, end of watch March 31st, cause of death gunfire. Corrections Officer Louis Hernandez Sr., Texas Department of Public Safety, end of watch March 31st, cause of death COVID-19. Police Officer William Evans, U.S. Capitol Police, end of watch April 2nd, cause of death vehicular assault. Lieutenant James Kuski, Hometown Police Department, Illinois, end of watch April 3rd, cause of death vehicular assault. Police Officer Brent Hall, Newton Grove Police Department, North Carolina, end of watch April 2nd, cause of death automobile crash. Deputy Sheriff Christopher Knight, Bibb County Sheriff's Office, Georgia, end of watch April 6th, cause of death stabbed. Detective Michael Dye, New York City Police Department, end of watch April 6th, cause of death 9/11 related illness. Sergeant James Smith, Iowa State Patrol, end of watch April 9th, cause of death gunfire. Deputy Sheriff Thomas Barnes, Jefferson Davis County Sheriff's Department, Mississippi, end of watch April 10th, cause of death automobile crash. We'll now take a moment of silence to honor our fallen police officers, firefighters, first responders, and veterans that have given their lives in the line of duty. Welcome back, guys, to the Blue Room, where we have the right to remain silent, but
That ain't happening.
It's been a while since you got to deliver that line, Christian, because you didn't come to the last show, did you?
Yeah, and can I say something? Wait,
No,
can I?
No, you can say nothing.
No, can I at least apologize?
Back up,
Back up from the mic.
All right.
Can I do-
Take your patience.
It was your show, and you didn't come.
Correct.
You can apologize if you want. I mean, I don't know if the listeners want to hear it.
No, nobody gives a shit.
I wish the listeners we could show by a show of hands how you miss your own show, but it is what it is.
Well,
All right, Chris,
I apologize for that.
For what?
No,
What happened?
no, I just overslept. I took a nap. Right, I took a nap.
You overslept at 8 o'clock at night?
Yeah, I took a nap.
He says, yeah. What are you, 60? Who takes a nap? How old are you, like 24?
I always take a nap throughout my whole life.
I'm feeling like a little...
No, don't worry about it.
How old are you?
us.
How old are you?
27.
You got to think of it. He's 27. 27
That's
years
scary.
old, and you don't really have a job. You don't really do much. You shouldn't be taking naps at 8 o'clock at night.
He has no answer.
I thought he was getting suspended, honestly. I thought
Well,
the
listen.
powers that be were going to put him in a little lockdown.
Well, I consulted with the head of the studio, and I had the authority to suspend him. I just chose to show some mercy on him.
I know I would catch hell if I didn't show up to my own show.
Well, yeah, no, you would, but you're responsible. Chris is not. So there we go.
That
Now
is-
that we've established that.
That is true.
So, a rough estimate. I mean, how many line of duty deaths was that? I think I counted
That
like
was
somewhere around 9,
it was
10.
no, it was like 12.
It was like 12?
We haven't had a show in a couple
Out of,
weeks.
out of those line of duty deaths, just out of curiosity, how many New York Yankees were so busted up that they had to sit out a fucking game because of it? Never mind, skip that. Fuck Aaron Hicks and his 200 batting average scumbag, allegedly. Hi, Tom.
Hey,
How are you? Nice.
I don't know where he came up with that from. Who's Adam Hicks? Who is he? I don't know.
Exactly. Who is Aaron Hicks? Good, Chris. You and in one fell swoop, you just redeemed yourself. Welcome back, Chris.
Ready to go.
Well, look, Florida, they've got teams. They didn't cancel games. Texas, they have teams.
Nobody.
They didn't cancel games. DC, they got a team. They didn't cancel a game. Georgia, the Braves, they didn't cancel a game.
Before that I didn't even that just came to me while you were talking. I was sitting there thinking about it and picturing that entitled fuck just sitting on the bench because all of a sudden now he wants to make a grandstand. Giancarlo Stanton, what is the next Carl Pavano? How many games is he going to play for the Yankees without getting hurt? Piece of shit. Put another fucking stripe in your eyebrow. See, I was nice and relaxed when it started.
And then
You got pumped. That's good.
Can we talk about the metal sign behind your head? Yes, we can. Thank you. Gotham Fabrication. That's Gotham Fabrication. You can find them at gothamfabrication.com.
It looks dope.
Hooked up by another Bronx superstar. Look at you. You're Bronx people, bro. Jonathan Fredericks.
At least my face is recognizable. I don't know about Tom's though.
Wow. Damn. Tom.
You look like a monkey in that, to be honest with you.
Hey, at least I'm in a plaque, Jacob. What about you?
My face is actually
I like
hidden.
my job.
he's on wanted posters, so his face is more places.
FBI's top
He's on bolos.
You go into every post office in New Jersey, you'll see.
If you go on the Megan's Law website, you'll find his face. Beat you.
I like his hoodie though.
Yeah, the sign is gorgeous. And it also weighs 785 pounds. So
Nah, really?
But my face is blocked. By,
we're trying to figure out how to get on the wall. They made a similar one
you know what?
for Brooke Show.
Why don't we put a chain like Flavor Flav, and I could wear it on my neck?
To wear that thing around your neck, you're gonna need like a heavy duty bike chain.
Tom.
Yeah, you'll break your neck. He'll be paralyzed.
I'm gonna break your neck. You
Yeah,
can
but-
walk.
Protect your neck.
So, it's been a while since our last show. We had a couple of positive COVID tests with some relation to the studio, and we decided, in the best interest of safety, that we would take a little bit of break. And then, I went to the DR for 8 days of lying on the beach. I thought nothing else. I thought about nothing else except Christian while I was lying on the beach and how much I missed him. But we're back
That's
now
funny because Christian thought about nothing else of you lying on the beach while you were
with
gone.
a cat. That time with a cat.
That's why we found out he got hips.
I'm not getting as clear. I'm getting some sort of feedback here or something. The sound is anyone else getting that?
Mine's loud and clear.
Yeah.
Everything sounds fine to me except for your mic.
All right. So
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Try leaning in.
no, I know how close to stay to it. I'm a professional.
Okay.
Anyway,
Oh, you sound better.
April 14th, 1972. April 14th, 1972. I don't think anyone in this room except myself was alive.
No.
April 14th, 1972.
No,
Wait a
hell
minute.
no.
How old are you?
Born in 71. November.
71, so 81.
So I was a young buck, year and a half.
I thought we established I was older than you.
So you're 50 right now,
No,
right?
you just act like you're older than me.
So he's 50. This guy's 50 years.
We're having a
Damn.
conversation. This motherfucker's taking his shoes off, counting.
Picking his toenails.
7.
50. You're 50 years old, right?
Carry the
No, I'm
6.
49. I said November. Anyway, April
Next we're gonna
14th,
learn months.
1972, NYPD officers Philip Cardillo and Vito Navarro responded to a 9/11 call for officer needs assistance at the Nation of Islam Mosque in Harlem, New York. When they get there, they are, much better. When they get there, they are greeted by folks that say, hey, come on inside. We need help. We need help. We need help. They get in the vestibule. They hear a bit of a ruckus going on upstairs. And the door, they go up the stairs, and then they're attacked by anywhere between 15 and 20 people. The door to the vestibule going into, actually, it didn't get locked yet. Two other officers, I thought I had their names here. Two other officers show up. They get into the vestibule, and that is when the Nation of Islam savages slam the door locked shut and then attack the 4 officers. End result is that Philip Cardillo was shot. Navarro actually wound up getting out of the mosque while they were retreating. So 3 officers stuck inside the building. They're being attacked. They're being beaten. Cardillo is shot with his own gun. And when the backup arrives, one of the officers is able to smash a window in and leans in and lets a couple of rounds go at the crowd, which disperses them. And then they're able to actually get in and get the officers out. Charlie Rangel was a congressman. Louis Farrakhan was the head of the Nation of Islam. Huge melee. The mayor was Lindsay at the time. He was a bag of shit. The police commissioner, Irish guy, what's his name? Murphy. He was a bag of shit. At one point, there was I think a captain was down in the basement, and he was calling to an inspector and I won't drop names because it's not verified, saying we need more people here. He actually asked for them to go to the academy and pull out recruits and just give them basically hats and bats to secure the area. He was told no. We're not doing that, and then refused to answer any future phone calls for the rest of the afternoon as far as how they're going to secure the area. So now they get in there, they pull the officers out. Cardillo goes to the hospital. The injured officers go to the hospital. It's a mess out there, and the story goes that Farrakhan and Rangel then went to the police department and said, I mean, they had this guy. His name is Dupree, that he was the shooter, and we're coming to take him. And Rangel and Farrakhan brokered a deal and said, if you take him now, there will be riots like you've never seen before. Let him go. We'll make sure he turns himself in tomorrow. Tomorrow never came. They never locked him up. Not then. Not at that point anyway. Yeah. The police department put a new policy in effect that mosques were to be treated as a sensitive location. It took 2 years. It took 2 years to arrest this guy Dupree on the murder of Cardillo.
Did he turn himself in?
He didn't turn himself in. They went and got him. They went and got him.
So it took 2 years, but not because he just
No.
he had to go long walk. It would no. So that never happened.
Took 2 years.
Oh,
They went to trial. They went to trial, and the defense attorney was able to convince a jury that one of two things happened: either Cardillo shot himself, or Cardillo was shot by another officer, and the guy was never convicted. All right. So Cardillo dies 6 days later. It was today's the 14th, so April 20th, Cardillo dies from his injuries. And that's the worst thing that came out of this. But the second worst thing that came out of this was that Mayor Lindsay and Commissioner Murphy, in a political statement, did not attend the funeral of a line-of-duty death officer.
Unbelievable.
Which to me is the biggest I mean, I can't, even de Blasio, who we hate, even though we don't want him there, showed up to Lewin Ramos.
That's kind of what I'm thinking, like, while you're talking about that, I'm thinking about, how everything is cyclical. I mean, we think of how bad it is now, and you just think of that scenario even playing out now. Like, I can't even see that scenario playing out now with as bad as it is. So I mean, everything is.
Dude, the Black Liberation Army, along with the Nation of Islam, they were very powerful political organizations. They were killing people, and they basically went to the mayor of the largest city with the largest police department in the country. And I say largest by population, not by square miles,
geographical area.
Yeah, and basically dictated to them how this is going to go down, and they buckled. And Charlie Rangel has gotten reelected year after year. I mean, 4 years, whatever it is. The Congress is 2, term after term after term after term, and there was nothing that came out of this. So that guy Dupree wound up going to North Carolina. He got arrested. He served 15 years on drug charges. It still doesn't soften the blow. I mean, he should have been in life for killing Cardillo.
Yeah.
They had police eyewitnesses. So they basically said, "Oh well, these cops came into the mosque." Like thugs, we said to them, "This is a place of worship. You can't come in here with guns." They were very aggressive, and we defended our building. The officers that were there will say, "Absolutely not." We came in, we went upstairs because that's where the ruckus was, and then we were attacked, and Cardillo was murdered. So, yeah. Way to go, Mayor Lindsay, Commissioner Patrick Murphy. Although I'll tell you, like I said, you say cyclical. Our mayor and our police commissioner now. I wouldn't be surprised if they pulled the same bullshit. Yeah. Like, let's satisfy the masses, right, wrong, or indifferent.
Well, I mean, that's all they're doing now is satisfying the masses. I mean, everything is geared towards that. Everything is deviating away from common sense, and everything is geared towards just appeasing the masses. And we sit and we talk about what's the end game. I can't. You look at some of the decisions, and it's not just New York. It's major cities all over the country. You look at some of the decisions that are coming out of government offices. What's the end game? I mean, these politicians notoriously are long. They're long game. They're long-sighted, especially if they want to stay.
That's why we need term limits.
No, but I'm saying even just going from governor and then higher. They're having political aspirations beyond where they're at now. They're already thinking, 2 other positions ahead. They have something planned out. And for people that are in that position where they're halfway through what they would hope to be their political career, I can't understand how they would look at supporting this anti-police movement and supporting and feeding the mob. I can't see what they see as the long game in this. Because listen, this anti-police rhetoric, this accommodating rioting and all this bullshit, it is going to end. I don't know when. I don't know how. I have a feeling. I personally feel it'll end when the next generation, our kids, have had enough. When they get old enough and it reaches that point where I think it's going to take that long.
I think I'm young enough to get involved in that fight.
I don't think so.
I think
49.
I think now we just established, no, you're not.
If it's 20,
Chris says you're 50.
20 years from now, absolutely.
Well, I think when the next generation, and it's going to take that, because it's that generation right now that's feeding this, it's that 18 to 22, that it's that generation that's feeding this bullshit and is pushing this.
But that's not our kids.
Sure
Our kids are for me, my kids are the 15 and below. So these 20 to 25-year-olds, eventually they're gonna. So all these like the millennials, all these 18 to 25, 28 that never had a job and just want everything handed to them. Eventually, they're gonna get tired of it.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they're going to run out of money. They can't, and then they're going to have to actually get a job.
But that's going to take 10 years. That's going to take 10 years, because they're again, even in college, they're being spoon fed this bullshit,
and all of this is being based on emotionalism.
Brian Fraser makes a great point. Is it really the masses, or is it the loudest squeak getting the oil?
Yeah,
and I do believe that's true. And we say it all the time. I think that most of society supports law enforcement. It's the one with the loudest voices. They get the media coverage, and that's what sells papers. That's how mainstream media makes their money, by putting that on the front page. They don't put it on the front page when a cop saves a kid, does CPR, goes above and beyond, because it's expected. It's not expected for a cop to buy a homeless guy a pair of boots. That's not our job. But it happens all the time. Well, was it a couple weeks ago where they bought, maybe it was in Tennessee, a kid's electric bike got stolen, and the cops got together and they scrapped up $800 and bought the kid a new bike, an electric bike. Like, that's not our job.
Right.
That's not our job. But we do it.
That's
but you don't see that.
Those electric bikes are annoying as fuck, by the way.
Oh, I love them. I love them.
I don't mind electric bikes, honestly.
They're annoying as fuck, dude. Oh yeah, I mean, listen, I get it. It makes it convenient, especially for all you Grubhub and Uber Eats and whatever the fuck else you got going on. Like, these guys are whipping all over the place.
They pay $35 for a $5 burger.
Yeah, dude. They're riding right down the street.
Listen, I hate EV cars, but I don't mind EV bikes. I don't mind, honestly. They're quiet.
Chris, can you ride a bike?
With training wheels.
I used to have a bike before, and it got stolen.
Do you drive a car?
I used to have a car. I just junked it. Too much bullshit, honestly.
So we had tonight. We had planned. I thought we had worked this all out. That we were going to have New York City mayoral candidate Curtis Sliwa on the show tonight. I was told as of 2 days ago that he was coming on, and I was excited about that. Right. And then I was told this morning that his campaign decided that they couldn't make it tonight, which was disappointing. I don't know.
They would let us know. They'll get back to us.
Well, I'll tell you what. As one of the premier law enforcement podcasts that garner anywhere between 8,000 and 12,000 views a show. Mostly in the Northeast. That's a lot of New York City voters.
That's had Pat Lynch on. That's had Bernie Kerik on. That's had congressmen on. I
can't tell the Sliwa camp how to run their campaign. But we had Bill Pepitone on, who's running for mayor as well, and Bill Pep would probably love to take that spot to come in again and talk about what he's going to do if he's elected. Hopefully the Sliwa campaign can figure it out and we can work this out that he does come on. I mean, if not, is what it is.
I think in order to do that, I think we have to whitewash Chris's treatment of cats before that happens.
Chris a big cat person?
The word on the street is that maybe the Sleevo campaign got wind of Chris's cat parenting, we'll call it.
Would you call him a cat parent?
Cat.
Hold on.
I don't know what.
Hold on. Is Kimberly or
Cat dad.
Or Rachel listening? Would you guys call yourself dog parents? Is that how that works?
That definitely. Oh no. Oh.
Well, Kim and Rachel would.
Listen, you go down that fur baby road, you're about to get your head bit off. Like, dude, yes.
Well, Kim's like in a cabin in the woods someplace right now
Listen,
with a three-legged dog.
you go down that road.
Yes, Brian Fraser, you have now mentioned twice on a podcast, and now you can probably start selling your autograph.
Wow.
So we're going through a bit of a transition here. The podcast started, a year and a half ago as one name. We've transitioned into something else, but what has always been true was that Blue News, Danny DeVaya at Blue News Network, has been
Broadcast Network.
BBN?
BBN.
Yes.
BNN.
All right, so all right, BBN. So tell me Blue News Network.
No, it's
BBN.
No, I'm going to tell you.
BBN.
WNBC.
Yeah, Tommy, we gotta get.
Oh, that's funny because my note says BBN, but I wrote out Blue News.
It's Blue Broadcast Network.
As long as it's not BBC.
Chris can't even. Chris.
How did that happen? I wrote BBN and then I wrote out Blue News.
Chris can't even show up for his show, and even he gets it right.
So we're but he does it every day. And I'm building an empire, and I've got a lot of shit going on. So anyway, so
you actually have people, and listen, this is the rumor, and maybe you can confirm whether it's true or not. You actually have people that show up to your events simply to meet you. True or false?
True.
True.
Wow.
Do you know how I know this? Tommy told me.
So it must be true.
Yeah,
I know.
Must be true.
I was telling
It's on the
him.
internet.
I was telling him because I was disappointed that an event that I was supposed to be at tomorrow in Jersey, I may not be able to make because I've had some printer issues, and they're sending a tech out from the company to work with me, and it's important to my business to have that ridiculously expensive printer working again. And the biggest disappointment would be that I know that there are folks coming out to this event just to say, hey.
Spoiler alert. Nobody is not coming now because you're not going to be there.
No, they want to get their bourbon. Mark's going to be there.
Wait. You have a print that a complex printer in your house?
Is this the new one?
The new one.
Ugh.
Yeah.
It's in your house, or you have it?
I have an office where it's in, and the new printer is not working right, and it's been 2 weeks, and I can't do any of the custom work that I'm so proud of. And they agreed to send someone out tomorrow, and if I can get them done by 4, I can still get to Newark and get to the Cave Cigar Lounge in Newark for the Line of Duty event. And yes, there will be people there just to say hi, Tom.
Hey,
I love what you're doing.
Joe Friday can rent you a machine.
Joe Friday. Damn you, Joe Friday. You're the reason I got this freaking machine. But the manufacturer is sending someone out, not the distributor. So we'll see how that works out.
All right, so Blue Broadcast Network.
Yes. So
Get it back together, Tommy.
so Blue Broadcast Network is where folks are going to be able to watch all the shows on the network. Correct. Whether it's the Real Mike the Cop, whether it's the Blue Room.
Uncensored with the real Mike the Cop. Tommy, we're really
And the Unknown Detective.
Well, now on his part, can we just say Bart only did like 5 or 6 shows?
Go on, Mike. You have to go on. Yeah, no, own it.
You said
We're
it.
not going to relay your message.
You said it. You said it.
No, they can hear me. Trust me, these mics can hear me.
Well, I know they can hear you.
Yes, the guy that's done 2 shows needs to. If you want, and Barbara from Harlem.
Barbara from Harlem.
I got that one right?
Pastor Duffy?
Pastor McDuffie, yes.
Is Bernie gonna have his own show? Because apparently Dana will give anyone a show.
Oh,
Andrew.
Yeah, 10-2-3.
10-2-3.
And
They gave Chris is here, so he does have a point there.
That is true. Yeah, but
Eric, hold on, Eric Brennan. You did not ask me to sign your hat. I signed his nipple though. He actually pulled his titty out. He had me sign his chest.
No. No.
Eric Brennan.
No.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
If there is not
yeah.
a photo of that,
he
it never
ripped the
happened.
Tom Werther, line of duty cigars. This is what I do.
Yeah, he wrote his email
I
address.
wrote a novel. It wasn't, it wasn't high pitch. It wasn't half stick, Eric. That's my new name for Eric.
Half stick?
Is half stick because it was
like
a half
that.
a stick of gum when we measured him.
Oh,
So he's now
God.
half stick, Eric.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
Thank God they didn't see that.
Alrighty. Blue Broadcast Network.
Blue Broadcast Network. I mean, listen. The idea is this. It's actually, really simple, but yet no one is doing it.
But yet complex.
No, not really. The overall idea that Danny and Mike have is that they want to create this lineup of pro law enforcement shows. There are other pro law enforcement shows out there. There are other shows being done and podcasts being done by law enforcement, retired cops, active cops. They're out there, but there's nowhere is there a lineup. Nowhere have they gotten a group of people together, all with unique perspectives, all with different backgrounds, different employment backgrounds, coming together with the same pro law enforcement, pro United States, patriotic message. It's not being done.
Is there going to
anywhere,
be
and
like a Portnoy show? Peaks there with Christian.
Listen,
Yum.
I mean, we might. Listen, we can come up with a format for Chris. If you can come up with a format for Chris, we'll give him his own show. I've seen him try to read the news.
Okay, so today on the quiz show, we're going to have.
Well, we just got to get him to show up for his show.
That's a good point. That's a good
that,
point.
that is a good point.
I'm gonna become a DJ.
He's going to have lots of guest hosts. Because when Christian does show up, you just go outside and grab someone on the street. Hey, you want to do a show?
He's going to become a DJ, dick jockey.
And now a podcast full of music. EDM,
That's all it is.
House.
So Blue News Network,
Oh, for the love of!
Blue Broadcast Network. I was breaking your balls. Don't call them 9/11 on.
I was
right?
good. I was just you beat me to it. You son of a! Listen, you ain't gonna make me stroke. Danny, listen. You guys already know how important that shit is to, and he's right with that.
And it should be.
It is very well. It should be. You fucking mispronounced it already.
Twice. I didn't mispronounce. Mispronounce is that you pronounce the word wrong. I just put the wrong word in the lineup there.
Okay.
Mispronouncing is like calling, I don't know, pizza. That's mispronouncing. Just saying.
BBN. In any case,
BBN.
so the ultimate goal long term is that every show that's done out of this studio will be broadcast live off of the Blue Broadcast Network Facebook page. So if you do not and have not liked and followed that page, please do so. Chris, put the link to the Facebook page in the comments. Because again, just same as if you follow this page, you get a notification when we go live. When everything switches over to the Blue Broadcast Network page, you will not get that notification when we're live. We can obviously take it and share it to the same places that we share it to now, but you won't get that notification when we're live. So if you haven't already, regardless of which show you follow, whether it's ours, Uncensored with the Real Mike the Cop, because I can actually say show names, right? 1023, Barbara from Harlem. And
That's because you didn't start drinking until 8 o'clock. Just saying.
Now see, Stacy, wait, pause. Now you did. Now you did it, Tommy. Jacob, you have the picture of what Danny put it up. So backstory. My check engine light came on a few days ago. 4 to be exact.
Well, 4's not good.
On your brand new car?
No, on my body, and I and I decided
He
that
does drive an Escape.
and I decided that I
His
was
vagina light come on too.
I was gonna try to dry out.
They're drying up.
thought-
It was drying up. That's why it came on.
I thought his car came with the check engine. I'm like, damn, 4's not that good nowadays.
He's totally
Says the guy with no car. You know what? No, I'm gonna resist.
rollerblades. He's on rollerblades. That's how he gets to work.
Okay.
Whoosha, whoosha.
So
Here's the pic.
yeah.
Oh, jeez.
So yeah, it's beautiful. So yeah, so I decided that I'm gonna dry out. Self-imposed. I said I got to take a break. and I haven't had a drink for 4 days. So I come here with my own jug of Arizona, half and half, Arnold Palmer, gentleman. Put it down first. Chris tries to drink out of it. There's 700 things to drink in this fucking place. I put that down, and Chris picks that up right away.
He wants the Arnie Palmy.
Yeah, well, I'll do. Like after I announced that I'm not drinking. I gotta take a break. He's like, oh no, I'm gonna take it. Like, dude, what the fuck, bro? Like, there's so much shit to drink here. Hit some of that stuff. You're gonna take the only thing here that I'm drinking now? Thanks. So I correct him, no problems. Okay. So now I get a call from Burke. I go outside because see, when Burke calls me, I actually answer the phone. When you call Burke,
He never answers the phone.
good luck.
He has never once answered the phone when I've called him.
He always answers the phone when I call him.
Bullshit.
I'll call him right now.
Maybe he
Call him right
likes you.
now.
Maybe he likes
No,
you.
pause. No, Jacob, call him right now.
No, not
Can we
Jacob.
call him from here?
Not Jacob. No, me. From my phone.
Put it on speaker and put it next to you. He's not going to answer. I guarantee he's going to answer.
Next to the microphone.
Don't put it next to the microphone.
Yeah, keep it like away from the
Just keep it away and put it on speaker. He's not going to answer. If I swear to God.
If he answers, hang up on him.
Duh. We're divorced. This motherfucker.
Hey,
Hey,
I was actually watching the show. I thought Josh was dry. Is he not? Is he back? Did he fall off the wagon?
a little bit. Yeah, 4 days. I mean, that's a lot for a guy like Josh. 4 days.
I feel bad for him.
Did Canning bring some of his like special, like limited edition mixes that I never get to taste that Josh finishes?
No, it was like a Bernie Silver Thunder or Colt 45 that was laying there, and he just crashed. He couldn't help himself.
Still reserved.
But really, what
Booze
could go wrong
Farm.
with like washback from like Bernie? Like, what could go wrong with a little bit of his saliva
Well,
mixed in with
Mike, that's the whole thing. That's where this was going. Do you know how dirty these motherfuckers are that were going to set me up with that? You see the picture. All right, so I step outside. I'm talking to you. While I'm outside, Danny's making...
You can't get AIDS, Josh. You can't get AIDS twice. Just drink the iced tea.
Oh, you're right. That's a good, that is a good point.
Lot of mercy.
But I might be able to get Hep C twice. So
But more importantly, I called Mike Burke, and he picked up the phone.
we're skipping right past that because this is heartbreaking, Mike. This is really heartbreaking. Everybody in the room, when I said when Mike calls me, I answer the phone. When you call Mike, everybody almost simultaneously said he never answers the phone. It's a known thing, and Tommy's like, well, what?
I was really hoping he was listening.
He always answers the phone when I call.
But some of you don't take the hint. I mean, you know, if you could all say that out loud. we'll
But you know
agree.
why, though?
But you still dial. You still pick up the phone and try to call.
When Tommy calls him, it might make Mike money. When we call him, it's going to cost him money.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Oh shit!
No, not Mike. It'll make their BBO. It'll make BBO.
So I have you on the phone.
Yeah. Listen, I told him I delivered all the messages. He already knows. They have all been put on notice. Messages have been delivered and received, copied direct, and yes. But you see how they tried to do me. Dirty. So I come back around the corner. Danny made this motherfucker. And listen, in fairness, I knew exactly what he did because after I caught... Because Bernie fucked it up. I come around the corner and he starts ripping again off of it in front of me. So now I see him. I'm like, yo, bro, what the fuck? What he was
Is there a
supposed...
curse jar on the table, by the way? Is there a curse jar on the table?
No, there's no curse.
There
jar on
should
the
be.
table. So...
Oh, you be rich.
all right,
Family show. Family show.
All right, family show. So I'll stop cursing. So, so I'm like, bro, what the hell? What the heck? And and he don't care. You know, Bernie don't care. Bernie's already laying claim to it, telling me he's taking it home. It's great, all this stuff, because he just thinks it's hysterical now. Everybody's laughing. But what these guys wanted to happen, and I knew it because my deviant mind thinks the same way. I say, you know what? I know exactly what you jokers were doing. You were going to make him drink out of this thing. Danny took pictures of him drinking out of this thing. They weren't going to tell me. I was going to come back around the corner, fill my glass with this stuff, drink out of it, and halfway through my glass while I'm drinking, Danny was not going to say anything. He's just going to hold the picture up of Bernie drinking.
It's like the toothbrush in the ass when you're on vacation, right?
just drinking out of this. That's how dirty these...
Anymore.
That's
How do we
how...
get to that, Tom?
That's how
How do
dirty...
we get to the point where Josh fell off the wagon? Is it because of that photo?
Well, that's it. But what I said was the fact that Bernie was here and that he was now drinking out of my iced tea. It was like a sign from God, and God wanted me
To have bourbon.
God wanted me.
God wanted to sterilize your mouth, just in case.
God wanted you to have hep. It was his will.
Thy will be done.
Jesus is your co-pilot.
there it is. So that's where we're at. Hey, Mike, honestly, thanks for picking up the phone for Tommy and never for me.
I just figured it would be radio gold if I answered the phone. I was trying to contribute to your show.
Awesome.
You
And it was.
you sons of bitches.
Nice hearing you, Mike.
I just want to say this before I go. Peace and love. I'd like to say that the Broadcast Blue Network is really starting to look.
Oh my God!
All right, listen. When Danny kills all of you, it ain't gonna be my fault.
That was a mic drop. He said it and he dropped it.
Yep. Listen, when Danny kills all of you, so let's take a break. We'll come
I'm
back.
not taking a break yet. What time is it? It's 8:38. Negative. I got one more piece I want to talk about.
All right, go ahead.
All right, let's go.
Oh shit!
All right.
Yeah, that's
You,
exactly.
you sound like somebody that's had about 3 weeks off, Chris.
No.
All in.
Big shout out. U.S. Marine Guillermo Sandoval and retired NYPD police officer J.R. Recupero, Suffolk County officer Christopher Raccioppo pulled the car over, right? Driving his car with no headlights on. Pulled the guy over, and the guy gets out of the car, and the retired cop sees it, so he kind of gets close to it, and then the driver of the car attacks the Suffolk County cop, stabs him in the leg with a knife in his thigh, and he's bleeding out. So the cop, the retired NYPD cop, tackles the guy, holds him down. I won't say retired, because when you're a Marine, you're always a Marine. As cops, we use the term
I think
retired.
they say former. They say former. They don't say ex. It's a former Marine.
I don't think it's former. I think when you have that in your blood, most have it forever. So I'll never use the word former. I won't use retired. Marine, Guillermo Sandoval, runs out there to help. So while the cop is wrestling with the mutt to hold him down, the Marine takes his belt and puts a tourniquet on the kid's leg. Job goes over. 911, the 911. It's not a 911 job. He puts over the radio. The backup units show up. They get the guy. They lock him up. Officer goes to the hospital. He's going to make a full recovery. Here's the deal, though. Suffolk County is a nice county. There are some little shithole areas, small pockets of shit in Nassau and Suffolk. If that same event happens in New York City, chances are that cop dies. Why? Because most people will take out their phone and videotape the cop being attacked, screaming, "Yeah, fuck the police,"
And not get involved.
So when we talk about, we said it earlier
the two
that
sheriffs
that
got- what was
most
that, LA?
people, we say that most people support police, but they wouldn't get involved.
Yeah.
So on the street, when you're sitting in your house, on your couch, at your desk, you're supporting police. The kids on the street, the guys that are actually out there, they don't give two shits about us. That cop dies. There is no way that I think he's lucky enough in New York City that a good Samaritan actually gets involved to stop that attack.
Yeah.
And that guy dies. That cop dies.
And with that training.
Or bleeds significantly, and who knows what happens. But it just, all the T's were dotted, crossed here, all the I's were dotted on this. There happened to be an off-duty, or a retired cop there. And not retired NYPD, although he was, but any retired cop had been in that same position. 98% of them would have done the same thing, which is great. And the fact that a civilian who actually lived right there when it was going down saw it, and this Marine ran out there to help and realized that he actually, when he saw the attack going on, he saw the bleeding, he went back to his house to get his belt. He wasn't wearing a belt. It was like right in front of his house. And when the cop was bleeding out, the Marine ran into his house, grabbed his belt, ran back out, and put the tourniquet on there and saved this guy's leg, saved this guy's life.
Kudos.
That doesn't happen in New York City. I'm telling you right now. In the current environment that we're in, and not just New York City, in a lot of places, it just happened to be happening in New
You've
York.
seen it. How many videos when the cop? Where was that? Baltimore, where the cop was knocked out cold. The
Yeah,
bike cop?
the train. No, the train cop. The transit.
Yeah.
Guy was out cold.
Out cold. Everybody's videoing. Now we're so in the upside down right now.
And again, you can't expect everyone to get involved in shit.
No, you absolutely can't.
But when you have a cop and a Marine, they say, hey, we get it. Joe Blow, the computer analyst, is probably not going to get involved in that, and which is fine because they're not trained for this. But we were trained for this, and once you retire or you're off duty or you've left that job or whatever, there's still something in most of us that resonates. It's
We
there.
tick differently.
It's there. Yeah, exactly. We tick differently.
And that's where it's flawed. Where was it De Blasio or his wife, or whatever, were imploring citizens to get involved. Yeah, you use the examples of the security guards that. I think actually they were fired. Weren't they fired for not getting involved when the Asian woman was beat up outside the place? They closed the door of the business they were in, and they locked the door. They didn't get involved in it. But like you had said, how can you expect people? Nobody wants to get involved in anything right now. If they're seeing cops who are actually paid to be involved and sworn in to be involved, they're getting fired and jammed up and sent to jail for intervening.
Right.
You think citizens are going to want the fuck?
Hell no. I
Fuck
want
that.
it.
Listen, you're a security guard for that building. Lock the door, and like I say, be a good witness. I'll lock the door. On top of the fact that, again, they're living in that community. They're working in that community. You think a civilian is going to want to get involved in the middle of that where they know those people are probably local, and now they're going to get involved in that, and with the lower, level of police interaction going on right now and the lower level of police proactivity going on right now, you think they want to get involved in trying to break up a fight of somebody that lives local? Like, yo, those motherfuckers will be back. Those kids will be back tomorrow. So how can you blame those guys?
But how about an active cop?
I'll do the same thing. If I was a security guard, I see a fire outside in the street, not in the premise.
You are a security guard.
I am. Thank you. Not in the premise. Not inside the
premises.
If it was
premises.
Thank you. If
premises like what?
Listen,
idea how to
police report,
yeah.
please just go directly to Steve.
If I were to see a fight inside the building that I am a security guard of, then yeah, I will get involved. But if it's outside in the street, the hell no. I'll be in a computer watching movies, chilling.
It's basic. Talking about two guys scrapping it out. You're talking about an elderly woman being
mauled by a 35-year-old man that just kicks her. No, it was one. He not after he punched her in the face, he continually kicked her in the head.
Yeah.
Kick. Like, we're trained for that. So now think about
trained
this.
or not, you should have a moral obligation to
at least get involved. So here's the thing, though. Here's your moral obligation. I see that happening. I'm Joe Blow citizen, and I shove that guy, and then he stabs me, and I'm dead. So people, it's not up to the citizens to get involved. You need to let the police actually be police, and then that will curb this. You need to address the all the issues that we have, the mental health issues, the bail reform issues. That the reason this is happening is because of that we don't have the mental health issues being controlled. We have the bail reform is ridiculous. You punch someone in the face at 8 o'clock in the morning, at 12 o'clock at noon, you're on the same corner. Be able to punch someone else in the same face or on the same corner. What if you're an active cop? Right, you're not retired, you're active cop, you're walking by, and that goes down. Now you get involved, and you have the same thoughts. So here's the thing, though. Cops don't think that way. For the most part, we don't think, do I get involved because I might lose my job? No, you jump. You go and do your thing, and you hope it works out for the best. We don't have that luxury of standing back and having the time to figure out how this is going to play out.
Are you talking on or off duty now? You're talking off duty?
Off duty, active. You don't have that because if you don't get involved, you get in trouble. If you get involved, you might get in trouble.
But that's not the case nowadays. Nowadays, though.
Well, that is the case.
Nowadays,
it's not the case anymore. You see what happened to the female police officer in Minneapolis? Today she got charged with manslaughter, second-degree manslaughter.
We'll get to that. It's apples and oranges right now. We're talking off-duty police officer. You're off-duty. You're walking down the street and you see a crime happening across the street. That's what Tommy's talking about. Do you, as a police officer, you're active duty. You're still active as a police officer, but you're off-duty. So you're not in uniform. You're walking down the street, going to get coffee and a bagel on your day off, and you see a crime happen across the street. Do you get involved? And honestly, Tommy,
listen,
I know what you're saying, and yes, your instinct. You hope your instinct kicks in, and you do what you do, and let the chips fall where they may.
But know that there could be repercussions for that action.
I think right now in the environment that law enforcement is in right now, unless you save a baby, or
A fireman.
save a baby, I think you're going to get jammed up. One way or the other, your department is going to find a way to try to say, well, we didn't endorse this, and this, so we're not indemnifying them. Good luck.
I believe it'll be much worse.
How does it get much worse than that? I mean, basically, if the department doesn't, and we'll get to the QI and all that shit, but if a department doesn't indemnify, doesn't cover you, that basically means you are on the hook for your own defense, you're on the hook for your own damages, like if the person sues you. Correct.
But you took
you're off duty, but you are a police officer 24/7. They tell you that. You are a sworn police officer 24/7. So you have, literally, you almost have a moral obligation, like he had said, to get involved.
You're always working.
To get involved. But now you already know, off duty, and we even talk about this with carrying off duty weapons. You say you are more likely to use your off duty weapon inappropriately than appropriately, especially in the department's eyes.
So you're
no matter how it breaks down, off duty incidents right away, the department's fucking bells are going to go off, and they're going to look at how can we separate ourselves from this, because this wasn't even something when he was on the clock. How can we break from this? And that was before this current climate.
When they tell you you always have to be fit for duty, and by fit for duty means you're not allowed to get drunk. You're not allowed you're not allowed to stay up for 24 hours and then go to sleep like the.
Well, I wouldn't have been getting drunk if Bernie wasn't ripping off my fucking Ice Kid show.
Bottom line is if you tell me as an officer that I always have to be ready to work, and then that time comes when I'm off duty and I have to work, you have to indemnify me. Now, I'm not saying, I can't tell you the last time a cop took action off duty and was, castrated.
Yeah.
It's few and far between. It's typically they did the right thing, but know that tide is changing. That I'm not saying it to scare you into not taking, action off duty. I'm retired. When I wasn't, though, when I was active, if something happened, you have a moral obligation, not even your job or your family, you have a moral obligation. If you have the ability to help someone, you fucking do it.
Yeah.
You don't stop and take out your phone. If you have to take out your gun, or if you're going to kick someone in the face to stop an attack like that, what that savage did to that woman, then you do it. And whatever happens, happens. If you get hurt, you get hurt. If it's worse, it's worse. But honestly, I couldn't live with myself if I was on the street and I sat there and I watched that animal
to come here and tell a story about it,
kick her face in, and I sat behind the car going, I watched it, I videoed it, I got really good footage. I took notes. Yeah. This was the color of his shoes and his pants, like the teaching in the academy.
Oh, I didn't do anything, but I got a really good video.
Yeah, and then that woman dies.
Yeah,
when you could have stopped it.
You know what? I truly believe that the average law enforcement officer is gonna feel that way in the coming years to come, given the current situation that it is right now.
I mean, you could play devil's advocate to your scenario. You say, all right, so the cop gets involved, starts wrestling around with a guy, ends up doing damage to the guy, or worse yet, killing him. By guy, I mean perpetrator. Could be male, female.
Or perpetrator. God forbid you put your hand on his neck.
The perpetrator.
Oh,
right.
God.
Right. And somebody's videoing it, and now you're in jail for an incident that you weren't even fucking on duty for. You don't think you're going to be kicking yourself in the ass in the same way? Like, man,
what would Nick do?
I could have just kept fucking walking.
What would Nick do? Right, Nick is trained. Nick is trained.
Nick would choke a motherfucker out.
Exactly. Nick is trained,
and then probably choke another motherfucker out, and then probably grab a feral cat and choke the feral cat out.
So he's trained professionally. He's trained to choke you out and not kill you. He chokes you out. If Nick is going down the street with his wife and he sees that go down and he gets involved and in survival mode to save the person that's being attacked, and then when he gets involved to save his own skin, that's what he's trained to do, is to stop you from boom, now you're unconscious, and he gets jammed up. He gets jammed up every single time.
The Gracie brothers, almost anybody that practices jiu-jitsu, but the Gracie brothers, even Elon, eGuard watches, eGuardwatches.com. Elon has even said that a rear naked choke applied appropriately is the most effective way and will cause the least amount of damage to get somebody under control. You choke them out, they're gonna go night night. You cuff them, smack them in the side of the head, and they're gonna be awake.
But it's
instantly.
like
Done.
literally, if it's done properly, it's like 12 to 15 seconds.
Less than that.
No, because there's two I don't know, airway and artery that have to be compressed enough, and it's 10 to 12 seconds.
There may be a few BBO members, some board members, hypothetically, that may have choked Josh out 1 or 2 times. It's less than 12 seconds. Trust me, it's almost instant. Applied appropriately, it's instant. Like,
Yeah.
The world just goes.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. So the minute you come off that person that you just choked out and they're out, 5 or 8 seconds later,
You're up.
They're back up and
No pain, no nothing.
But the data shows that they're going to be more aggressive at that point.
They'll be cuffed by that point. Not
Not if you're off duty. Not if you're off duty.
Well, if you're off duty and you get involved, that's the other thing. We're going down a rabbit hole.
Yes.
But if you're off duty and you're going to get involved, you better have cuffs on you. Well, back up.
prepared.
If you have a shield on you, and this is a pet peeve of mine, and I don't care if you put them worse than dialing 911.
Worse than 911?
Worse than dialing 911. Yes, I knew you were going to go there. See, read your mind. If you're going to carry a shield on you, you better have your burner on you. If you're going to carry a shield and your burner on you, you better have a set of cuffs on you. Because let's just hypothetically say you get in the middle of an armed robbery and you feel like you're going to play Vice City and you're going to bust into this place and you're going to put these guys at gunpoint. What are you going to do for the 25 minutes that's going to take for the locals to show up? You're going to hold these guys at gunpoint for 25 minutes, you think? Guys, don't move.
Yeah.
Don't move.
And stay not moving.
Yeah, and stay not. No, if you're going to do it, then do it. Carry everything. I don't care if you carry in your pocket, your center console. I don't care where you want to put it. You better have them somewhere. And then by them, I mean handcuffs. Handcuffs are the biggest thing. Because if you're going to get involved, you have to be able to get involved all the way. Or don't get involved. Because you're 100% right. Chokes him out, and now he wakes up. Now what are you going to do?
What about
choke him out again?
What about Chinese thumb cuffs? Like, if you carry that,
That's biased. That's biased. You don't. You can't call them that anymore.
I'm not. We just call them thumb cuffs.
Like Josh, Josh, do you think that
Josh
police
doesn't.
departments have any, like, I would say, policy or rules for off-duty cops, like, to get involved in such a
What do you
situation?
mean?
Brian said again here. Their policy states in a felony we're to get involved. Likewise, we're required to carry while off duty.
Yeah. So if
Required.
you're required to be, well, I don't know if you're required to carry. I don't know if Brian's NYPD. We weren't required to carry. We were required to be alert. We were required to be, able to go into service, if you will. At all times.
See, that's crazy, because to be required to carry off duty, that's almost like a setup. Because I mean, again, you think from a union standpoint, from a representation standpoint, you always tell people, listen, if you're going to be drinking, especially drinking heavily, if you're going to be at a bar, and you're going to be in a position where you're going to be intoxicated, you better not carry, because even if you get in any shooting, on or off duty, the first thing they're going to do is draw blood. Yeah. The first thing they're going to do. And I don't care if you use your weapon properly or improperly, they draw blood and you're drunk, you're fucked.
Not if you're running down the street getting away from them.
You're fucked. So I mean, to say that they to order them, that's tough, because I mean, you're basically saying the only time you're ever getting drunk is in your house, in your bed, which is
in the DR.
I mean, listen,
which for you is like 5 days a week.
At home in your bed, which is not necessarily wrong, hypothetically.
When your kids are pouring you bourbon, it's a little different.
when you want to take a 4-day break and you can't because Bernie, the notorious streetwalker in Haledon, New Jersey, is ripping off your bottle of Arizona iced tea. Sons of bitches.
All right, we will take a break now. I didn't want to take a break at 40 minutes into the show. I wanted to stretch it to 60. Just what I do. I thought that these folks that chimed in needed a little bit more time with us. We'll take let's do a 4. Can we do a single?
Yeah.
4?
Yeah.
4 minute?
Yep.
While the commercial commercial 6 minutes and 40 seconds.
All right, so we're going to take a 6-minute and 40-second break.
There's no pizza outside, so don't go about Chris disappearing unless he falls asleep.
Well, we're not really going to leave the table. We're just going to do the advertisements for the people that actually are responsible for this show. They're advertisers that pay to sponsor this show.
Yes.
Just, listen to what they have to say. Tito!
No. Jacob's heart just sank.
All right. So apparently the second half is going to get just about to get a little more interesting. Jacob, take us out, and we'll be back in 6:40, right?
Yes.
All right, guys.
If you are searching for a doctor that truly cares about your overall health and well-being, contact Dr. Alex at Tri-State Health and Wellness. For more than 11 years, Dr. Alex has been treating law enforcement professionals and their families while focusing on one-on-one care so you never feel rushed. All necessary testing can be conducted during your visit, and they feature flexible hours and appointments to accommodate alternating work schedules. Tri-State Health and Wellness is conveniently located in Fair Lawn, New Jersey. Contact Dr. Alex today by visiting www.bluetristate.com. Mortgages for everyday heroes. From Michelle Hendershot and Homebridge Financial Services. If you're looking to purchase a home or refinance an existing mortgage, Michelle Hendershot can assist you every step of the way. With over 10 years of experience assisting law enforcement officers with their dream of owning a home, the choice is simple. Contact Michelle Hendershot today. Visit www.mortgagesforblue.com. Are you tired of sleeping alone each night? Feeling sluggish during the day? Is your snoring keeping your spouse awake at night? If you find yourself spending too much time on the couch, maybe it's time to visit Dr. Michael Doblin of At Home Sleep Solutions. Dr. Doblin is the preferred sleep apnea doctor of New Jersey's law enforcement officers. With the help of a custom-fitted oral device, you can finally say goodbye to noisy, antiquated sleep apnea machines. For more information and to schedule an appointment today, contact Dr. Michael Doblin. Visit www.bluesnore.com. Moment of Silence, Inc., along with Blue Suicide, is a nonprofit organization founded to support and raise awareness about the epidemic of suicides amongst law enforcement, military personnel, and first responders. For more information on how you can help, visit momentofsilenceinc.org. If you're in the market for a new vehicle or a certified used vehicle, then visit Fetty Auto Group, located at the junction of Route 46 and Route 3 in Clifton, New Jersey. Fetty Auto Group stands shoulder to shoulder with the men and women in blue. Stop by and ask for Troy Mall and ask about the offers for first responders. For more information, visit FettyAuto.com. That's FettyAuto.com. The Blue Magazine, the law enforcement publication by law enforcement professionals for the men and women of law enforcement. The unfiltered voice of law enforcement. TheBlueMagazine.com. Are you patrolling with the pig? If not, you're doing it wrong. Check out all the newest swine swag at ProudPig.blue. They are dirty by design. Check it out now. Visit www.proudpig.blue for all your swine swag. Visit www.proudpig.blue. Resumes by Joe. Owned and operated by retired NYPD second grade detective Joe Federa. With over 20 years of professional resume writing experience and focusing on translating what we do as cops into language that the corporate world can appreciate. We put an emphasis on ensuring that your cover letter and resume will be best received by the applicant tracking system used by most companies today. Check out our website at www.resumesbyjoe.com or call Joe directly at 347-992-4523. Don't forget to ask about the 50% discount for BBO members and most unions across the country. Give us the job of helping you get the job. Contact Resumes by Joe today. If you're a member of the law enforcement profession and are looking to establish long-lasting business relationships with businesses that are Blue-friendly, it's time to visit visitblue.com. Visitblue.com features some of the best doctors, lawyers, realtors, as well as other service providers, such as home improvement and financial services. If you are looking for reliable, trustworthy service providers, visit visitblue.com. That's www.visitblue.com. Founded in 2014 by retired NYPD police officer Michael Burke, Brothers Before Others is a national 501c3 law enforcement charity comprised solely of both sworn and retired police officers. Since their inception, Brothers Before Others has sent floral arrangements to the services of all line-of-duty deaths, regardless of where in the country they occur, having spent over $350,000 to date. While the National Flower Fund remains their cornerstone, their benevolence has since grown well beyond that, even into the civilian world. For more information on how to get involved or to donate, visit brothersbeforeothers.org, or you can visit their public forums on all social media platforms by searching Brothers Before Others. Founded in 2016 by professional musician Neil Giraldo, 3 Chord Bourbon has developed a process that is defined as the perfectly tuned taste, blending carefully selected whiskey bourbon and rye whiskey stocks from Kentucky, Tennessee, and Indiana. Designed to be enjoyed with friends and family, 3 Chord Bourbon will leave you with the same feeling you experience after hearing that perfect song. You'll know their whiskeys are right from the very first sip. For more information on 3 Chord Bourbon and available merchandise, visit 3chordbourbon.com. Line of Duty Cigars, owned and operated by retired NYPD Detective Tom Werther. Visit lineofdutycigars.com for our handmade Nicaraguan cigars, custom ashtrays, custom humidors, and custom flask sets. Also, when you place an order, you choose a law enforcement, first responder, or veteran charity, and Line of Duty Cigars donates 10% to that organization. Planning a special event? Contact us today. Visit www.lineofdutycigars.com. And now, back to the Blue Room Podcast on the BlueBroadcastNetwork.com.
.com.
All right, guys, we have been graced with the presence of Tito Rogers, who apparently doesn't give 2 shits about who he offends on Facebook. He probably holds the record for the most jail sentences in Facebook.
Yeah.
I just got over. I got over a 3-day, my first 3-day sentence recently, and my sentence was because I called out a cop who was motherfucking another cop, and I couldn't
on Facebook.
Yeah.
No,
So
you don't say.
And we'll get to that. We'll get to that portion.
Please do.
Eventually. So we have an order of stuff here to talk about, and we'll talk about the elephant in the room. Where's Half-Stick Eric? Half-Stick Eric? No, he's not the elephant in the room.
No.
We've changed high pitch is now Half-Stick Eric.
Half-Stick, and if fitting.
Yeah, exactly. So the Half-Stick are gone.
Half-Stick.
So the Derek Chauvin trial, which everyone's speaking about, and we have really kind of avoided it because we believe in due process. We'll just let it go where it goes. But the prosecution has wrapped up the case on Tuesday, and now the defense is coming in. And what I've noticed, and I watched a little bit of it before I went away, that I would watch, a couple hours of the testimony, and then I'd catch the news later on at night. And what the mainstream media was showing was only the pieces that supported the prosecution's case. And I said to myself, I wonder why they're only showing that. So when the prosecution...
You really had to ask yourself that?
Well, when the prosecution case comes out and their witness for the prosecution comes out and testifies, and then the defense completely flips that on its ear, and it actually helps the defense, you won't see that in mainstream media. And I say to myself, why? Like, why are you only showing the positive prosecution testimony, and the only answer I can come up with is that they want to continue to shove this down our throat. Listen, I don't know if Derek Chauvin is the biggest racist, murdering asshole in the face of the earth. I don't know that. I really don't. I honestly don't have an opinion.
My question goes hand in hand with your question is why? Because the department itself had the body camera footage before anything else. Before they had the cell cam footage, all these civilian angles and all that. Why did it take 6 months, actually more, for the body cam footage to be leaked when the cell phone footage was out immediately?
Yeah.
Hours later. Why didn't they get ahead of it and put something out there and say, hey, this is the police officers? Because when you see, I don't care who you are, and if anybody disagrees with my percentages.
Hold on, and again, we're only talking about the coverage here. We're not talking about the actual case.
About the coverage.
It's just so people when they're listening. No, we're not Monday morning quarterbacking here. We're just the coverage.
No, just the coverage. I don't care who you are. 99% of America. I don't care where you fucking work, how old you are, what race you are, what gender you are. 99% of America, when they saw those first videos that came out, said, yo, what the fuck? I don't care where you worked. Mm-hmm. When you saw the body cam footage, people that understand law enforcement, people that understand police work were like, oh, yeah, no shit. There is a very specific reason why it took so long for that body cam footage to get out, and that was because they needed the narrative set, and that body cam footage did not support the narrative. Like I said, I don't know how deep you want to get into it.
Hold on, well, let's phone call 219 Blue Room, right? 219 Blue Room. Mm-hmm.
Because you got that right.
Well, because Tea Time's here.
Hold on, pause.
So
T, what does BBN stand for?
You know what it stands for, bro.
You know what it stands Guys, 219 Blue Room. Anything we're talking about, anything. I honestly, when we get to the Capitol police shooting and the fact that they didn't charge the officer, I would love, because Mike Freed, who I've never met, but Mike and I agree on most things. He watches the show. He posts often on this. I would love Mike Freed to call in when we get to that piece. So 219 Blue Room when we get to that piece, or even this piece. If you have an opinion on this that you feel anyone that's listening to the show, 219 Blue Room. Why that they're trying to perpetrate this opinion, and I truly, it is an opinion. It's an opinion, and mainstream media does not sell newspapers. They don't get their Emmy award-winning fucking broadcast on this unless they can convince the American public that this man is as guilty as sin, and because they show you all of the evidence that shows that he's guilty.
You think it matters?
And it doesn't matter. It doesn't. Unfortunately, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
They show all this to brainwash most of America, and then when he's not found guilty, and the prosecution and mainstream media realize that they overcharged and they're not going to get the second-degree murder, they're not going to get the second-degree manslaughter, it's not going to happen. They're going to have trouble with their third-degree murder. What they're trying to show you is that, after all of this evidence presented, and they're only going to show you the evidence that leads into one direction, when they don't get the result, they're going to almost support the rioting that's going to happen. We all know it's going to happen. And there's no way he gets murdered.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
It's not rioting, it's protesting.
It's peaceful protesting.
It's protesting.
It's expressions of rage.
And it's funny that you, and I'm sorry, Judge, but funny that you said that, because I don't know if you guys saw the news conference by the police chief before he got removed, Brooklyn, Minnesota.
Yeah.
When he was talking about the incidents that were occurring as a result of the shooting, and he called it rioting, and there was
Well, that wasn't the police. That was the head of public safety, right? And then the mayor called him out. Actually, mayor fired him.
Yeah,
because
fired him.
Yeah, the 27-year-old mayor that's never left his fucking basement.
Right.
We're talking about the mayor now.
Well, the mayor of Brooklyn, that when he said, when the reporters were going, the protesters, And he goes, no, they were rioters. They were throwing bricks and rocks. And one of the reporters goes, no, don't do that. They were protesters. And he goes, no, they were rioters. And then soon thereafter, he was removed as
he was the head of public safety.
So I mean, they
My
they
God,
to play on words.
Stop. The mayor. Jacob, play that video.
Make sure that we sit down and go through it and see how we can implement.
Or not.
I don't believe that officers need to necessarily have weapons.
Jacob.
Every time they're making a traffic stop.
What?
Fuck! Don't say that.
So, follow that up, Jacob. I put a still. I gave you a still from the New Mexico State Trooper. Can you put that up? Now, I want you to think about what that stupid fucking mayor said. And I want you to look at that picture. Why would police officers? I really don't think it's necessary for police officers to have guns, to have their weapons during traffic stops.
On a car stop.
Really? Really?
Sad part is people listen to him.
So the guy on the right is dead. The guy on the left killed him. The guy on the left was then killed by the brothers and sisters of the guy on the right.
The guy on the right never got a chance to get a weapon out of his holster.
Nothing.
He was shot at six. He was shot 6 times.
And also, that guy on the left was a drug cartel.
Five of the 6 times at point blank range. But according to
What was the back?
the mayor of whatever the fuck,
Brooklyn, Minnesota.
Brooklyn, thank you. He doesn't understand. He doesn't think it's really necessary for police officers to have weapons. And dude, I warned you. I told you this was fucking coming. Kid show. I apologize, but we're second half, so I can get that off. I told
It's
you
after 9 o'clock. Yeah.
I told you this was coming, and I said it might not pass, but you are going to see people introduce legislation that is going to try to take away police officers' guns. And whether it's all police officers, maybe they try to do same as the UK and say, well, all right, well, it's specialized units, but the frontline, everyday foot patrol police officers will be unarmed. It is coming. It is coming.
But you can't.
I can't foresee it happening.
It's not.
The legislation will be presented. There's no doubt about that.
And you saw him hesitate before he said it. He's like, I don't think. And he sat there and he thought about it for a second, and he's like, you know what? You can see in his head. You can see the gears turning. He's like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna let it fly. I don't think cops should have their gun. What the?
He in his small little simple mind, he thinks that there are officers assigned to traffic only, and there are officers assigned to only mental health issues, and there are officers assigned to only robbery jobs. Cop's a cop's a cop. Doesn't matter what you do. So right now you're handling a job for a robbery, and then 5 minutes later you're doing a traffic stop like that, and 10 minutes after that you're handling a ringing burglar alarm in an abandoned building. You just can't. There's no way to separate who gets to respond to these jobs. It doesn't work.
America without law enforcement is not America anymore.
So hold on. So let's talk about.
That's true.
Let's talk about.
Obviously,
we're on the New Mexico incident right now.
Okay.
And let's talk a little bit about that.
Go ahead.
All right.
Yeah.
To watch the video is disheartening. The video is,
to say the least,
horrible to watch as a cop, and any cop or law enforcement officer or mayor or governor or anyone in a position that controls their police departments that watches this video and thinks that we should take guns away from our cops needs to have their head examined. And we say it all the time. We don't Monday morning quarterback. What we do is that we question tactics that we're taught. What we do, NYPD, first of all, we don't have solo patrol. So that car stop for us would have been, well, we do. I mean, highway cops. So the highway officers do solo, but patrol cops do not. Highway, I think, is the only patrol uniform division that work by themselves. So
Within just the NYPD.
yeah, that's all I know. I don't know what anyone else does.
You were NYPD?
Yeah.
Where'd you work?
Oh, Queens. I never left my car.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So this officer. So for me, I can't relate to this because not only did we have two-person patrol cars, that I couldn't start a car stop where I worked and then finish the car stop without another car behind me. So as soon as it went over the air, car stop, blah, 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 one of my guys was over there and watching. It just, I can probably count on one hand the amount of car stops that I did, just me and my partner, just us, and with no one else there. I don't get the removing someone from a car and then putting them in your car to investigate or to you're basically telling them that I'm going to find out a reason to arrest you.
Before you go down this road, let me warn you. The interdiction guys and K9 guys will chew your fucking head off.
K9 guys are not alone. K9 guys are not alone. That dog will rip your throat out.
The interdiction guys will chew your heads off.
That's fine. I didn't do that work.
I didn't do it. Now that said, I agree with you. I can't. And again, I'm not interdiction trained. So, I mean, they get taught different things, about, facial and lying. And the whole thing is based on, you get them engaged in this conversation and you get them to contradict themselves, get them to tell these lies. And besides that, you're watching for their facial movements, their body movements, and you can pick up when they're lying. So the concept, as I understand it, and again, Tommy, give the number out. If I'm wrong, please correct me.
219 Blue Room. Someone, please. Seriously.
100%.
Listen, hold on one second. If you worked in a car, so Tori said, "Oh, I worked solo." If you work solo patrol, I would love for you to call in right now and explain to me how a felony car stop in a solo car worked.
Well, no, I don't know. Not even felony. Put yourself in this position. You're stopping a guy, and you get up to the car, and you look at the car, and whatever it is about that stop gives you the feeling, Chris. If you're gonna chew that gum, please back up from the mic, because otherwise, you're gonna drive me nuts.
Or get some pizza.
No, if you whatever gives you, you just feel like, all right, this guy's either running drugs, weapons, something gives you like, I got to have a conversation with this guy because I think it's more than just the average stop. You're by yourself. I don't see the benefit to again, we all talk about it and we say it all the time, and you hear it repeated every academy, every department, roll call, whatever. We all go home. That is our primary goal. We all go home, and if that is our primary goal, I don't care how many millions of dollars of cocaine you've seized off of traffic stops or whatever. Nothing justifies that one time you take an unsub, put him in the passenger seat of your car, and he kills you. Because again, I'm not interdiction trained. If you are, and you can correct me, please correct me. I would imagine, though, this conversation that you're trying to start with this suspect, because at that point, by the time you're pulling him out of the car and you've decided that, hey, I got to bring him back to the car and have a conversation with him, he's a suspect. I can't imagine you're going to flip him that hard. I'm sure. You say, hey, listen, before you sit in my car, I'm going to pat you, make sure you're not digging that hard. So it's not that far-fetched for me to think that this guy's going to have weapons in places that you probably aren't going to pat to have that casual, relaxing conversation that you want this guy to be telling you stories.
But I want to reiterate that we're not questioning the
at all. No,
attack,
Tom. No,
Tommy. Well, with people listening, are like,
This is not. This is
right.
not. This is not. Listen, this is not.
This officer was trained to do something a certain way.
Correct.
And I'm just trying to understand why.
I'm talking about the tactic that's all over the United States.
All right.
This stop is aside. This stop is aside. I'm talking about the tactic
I just
itself.
need to make sure it's clear that this show, we do not Monday morning quarterback. We don't second guess officers. We're just trying to understand the training and help people.
He was deploying a tactic that he was taught. That's a given. I'm not even questioning that. So let you get him back to the car again. I'm not imagining you're flipping him that hard, patting him. I'm sure I can. I mean, listen, if you're not even patting him for weapons, then I mean, I really don't understand it then. So, but anyway,
Brian Carlino says we do solos every day. Brian Carlino, 219 Blue Room. I want you to call us, and explain how that goes down. How you as a solo car. Actually, he got promoted, right? Isn't he a sergeant now? So he's not really doing
allegedly.
He's not doing police work anymore.
To
figure like how do you do, especially so this guy in New Mexico, he may have been 40 minutes away from a backup car.
No, but he wasn't. No, but
I don't know. I don't know.
Listen.
He was on the highway in New Mexico.
It was
maybe Forrest Gump was going to ride by.
Yeah, from what I understand, I forget what they call it, like a whisper stop or something like that. Like he had there. From what I'm getting now, like there was prior information. This wasn't just a blind stop for window tints. Like they had information. It's almost like the 95 corridor. Like people are running drugs and guns and all that, and they had the heads up. Hey,
do the motor vehicle stop for us.
They had a tip off from Homeland Security.
Our guys
identify the driver, see who he is, what he's about,
hold him for us, and then we're gonna be a little bit.
DT came after.
What's that?
DT came after once you watch the video, like 10 to 15.
What do you got, Ron?
I was going to say, in our department, all our guys ran solo. We had solo cars, night shift and day shift. Unless you were, a street crime or something like that were unmarked cars. And
are you done? You're leaving us?
Two guys rode around in plain clothes.
Fuck you guys, I want some pizza.
All our guys ran solo. So if you got behind a felony vehicle, stolen, carjacking vehicle, something like that, you followed the vehicle until you had units around. I had one incident where they put a carjacking vehicle out. It was a pickup truck that was carjacked. Just a few blocks from where I was located at. I ended up locating the vehicle in about 2 minutes, and got behind the vehicle, started following the vehicle. The vehicle goes about 2 blocks, goes into a neighborhood, and immediately stops. I had called the vehicle out the second I saw it, and advised that I was behind it, and I was following, giving my location, waiting for other units to get there. But the vehicle pulled into a driveway and stopped at a home. I had no choice but to take the car down because what do you do? So at that time, I grabbed Max, grabbed him by his harness by his left hand and drew my weapon and held the car there until other units came out. The stop turned out okay, but that's not the norm. Like you don't.
But this is a highway with it could potentially be 20 minutes from someone coming in.
But I think this guy was working a detail, some operation or something.
He wasn't. But the detail again, they were out there and they were looking not specifically for this guy, but this was one of the guys they were looking for. Consider it like a bolo. Right. They probably put it out to the patrols and said, hey, if you see this car, stop this car. The Homeland Security guys or whoever it was that put the bolo out were looking for this guy, and they were probably monitoring the frequency, heard the stop go over, and they headed that way. And that's why if you watch the video, which again, like Tommy was saying, you honestly, if you're involved in law enforcement and you really don't have to watch the video. It's hard to watch.
It's horrible.
If you're a civilian, you should watch the fucking video because it'll get kid show.
But honestly, I would love. So Brian Fraser, who's been mentioned 3 times now, Brian, we're making you a superstar, says that most of America doesn't have 2-man cars like the NYPD or the manpower. That's why I really want someone. I want someone to call in that says, "Hey, I work solo patrol, and this is what we do."
Listen,
I don't get.
Listen, Jersey Troopers, and I say this all the time, and I give them a lot of credit, and it goes to their reputation, and what keeps 4 mutts in a car when a Jersey trooper is stopping that car in the middle of nowhere on the turnpike and their nearest backup is 25 miles away. The fact that the
hat's very intimidating.
It might be the hat. No, it's the fact that they know, even if just by reputation, that if you open that fucking door, that trooper's gonna fuck you up. You are staying in that car. You're not getting out of that car.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, don't even look at me. And that's something, if that world famous video between the trooper and, I'm not going to name the local or county department, that they were getting in a fight. They were on a stop in a fight, and in the middle of that argument between cops, the trooper has the presence of mind, if you watch that video, to keep an eye on the suspect, and he yells at one of the suspects in the car. He's like, "Don't look at me, turn away!" Like because the suspect now was watching the cops fight each other, and the trooper has the presence of mind to tell that guy, "Don't look at me, look forward." Like this. So, in my mind, that scene, that car stop, is controlled with your suspects in that car. The minute you start pulling, and there's a lot of reasons to pull suspects from cars. I get it. I understand it. There's a lot of reasons to do that. But in my mind, the minute you start pulling people from cars, that scene becomes more and more uncontrolled. Okay? So now, if I'm doing that for a legitimate reason, there may be there's a whole slew of legitimate reasons. If I want to separate people and I want to get stories, without them being able to corroborate their stories, I want to interview this guy separate from this guy, so I want to pull him out, put him on a curb, and interview him separate. I get it. There are reasons to pull people from cars. Understood. Sit them on a curb, stand them on a curb if you don't want to sit them on a curb because police departments say that's disrespectful and dehumanizing or whatever. Stand them on the curb, whatever. Why would you put one of them in your that RMP?
Can you? So I'm going back in the old days when you were still in high school. We didn't use.
You ain't that old.
We didn't use the.
Get Jerry Kane on the phone. That's Jerry Kane would tell you about old days.
Jerry Kane would take his nightstick and bang it on the corner. That's how he checked in. That's how old Jerry Kane is. He had a .38. He would let rounds go in the air just to piss people off.
Go ahead.
I don't even know what I was yelling at you for.
Can you?
Oh no! So can you what?
I don't know. That's what you were asking me. I don't know.
So we didn't do the warrant checks, and it's all about the warrant check.
Correct.
We didn't do warrant checks on the MDT. We didn't. We did it over the air to take the guy out of the car, cuff him for my safety, put him on the curb, on the radio, over the air, do the radio check, do the warrant check, blah 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 blah. Didn't matter if he heard it because he's cuffed. Didn't matter. You stick him in the car, and the MDT, like I said, the bells and whistles are going off. Blah blah blah. Is he cuffed in your car? If he is, you're good. If he's not, you're not. The one in Minnesota recently, he was cuffed. He was cuffed. He got out of the cuffs, and he took off back to the car. We used to do warrant checks over the air. You took the guy out of the car, you cuffed him, you either sat him. So if you're by yourself, you sit him on the bumper, you sit him on the curb, and over the air, here's the name, here's the date of birth, and you come out. If he was good, he's good. If he wasn't, he wasn't.
Yeah, but
to put him in your car, for me, unless he's in my trunk, that's the only place that's safe for me. All right, I'm going to put you in my car while I finish this investigation. So you open the trunk, you stuff him in the trunk, you do your investigation, you open the trunk, and let him out.
I just don't get it. And like I said, I mean, again, I never been interdiction trained, and I just feel like, and it's not meant to sound disrespectful, and it does sound disrespectful, and I apologize. No, it does. When I say it, I say, like, if you're that good at interdiction, you're going to get the answers you want. I don't give a fuck if the guy's sitting on the hood of his car. You're going to get the answers you want if you're that good. If you're good at passive-aggressive interviewing, and it doesn't matter, if he's in his comfort zone in the car, stop. To take that guy, and again, like I said, the conversation itself is initiated by the stop in New Mexico, but it has nothing to do with that stop per se, because that's not the only place that is practiced. I just don't understand the benefit of taking a suspect and putting him in the front seat of your RMP You know, and let's go one step further.
Do they put him in the front seat though? Is that where the norm is?
That's where they put him. And I know we got a caller, but my last point before you go to the caller is, what happens? You're a solo patrol. You put him in the front seat of the car. You run his name through the thing. Now you know he's a wanted person. What are you going to do with him? Are you going to get out of your car? Because anybody
he goes from the front seat to the back seat.
Anybody that has a warrant knows they have a warrant.
But they're cuffed. Oh, they're not cuffed.
They're not cuffed.
Oh no.
That's the thing.
I see. You didn't say that. You didn't say that.
They're not cuffed.
You didn't say that.
They sit him in the front seat of the car.
Jacob, caller.
Go.
Caller. Hello.
Ryan, you there?
Hello.
Who are we talking to?
This is Brian.
Brad?
Brian
Fraser.
Brian Fraser. All right.
The famous.
Yes, famous Brian Fraser.
How you
doing? All right, Brian. I'm not even going to get into where you worked and what you did. I understand that a lot of people don't want to get super involved and worry about repercussions coming down the line. But apparently, you worked someplace where you had solo cars and you did car stops and you took people out.
Yes.
Right.
Well, now I didn't take people out of the car without someone else being there, but I approached the car and made the traffic stop solo.
So you make the stop solo, and then you put it over
our policy was
you put it over the air.
It was a lot like what.
And someone comes there.
It was a lot like what Torres was saying. Sometimes somebody comes there. It depends. I mean, my county's 500 square miles, and we probably have 8 deputies working.
Yep.
So, it may be 15 minutes before somebody gets there. It could be 5 minutes, but he generally handled the traffic stop. Now, if something led me to need to do a car search, or if I need a K-9 to do a sniff or something along those lines, then, obviously we waited till another car got there, if at all possible, before we got anyone out of a car.
So you would typically try to keep the person driving the car in the car until someone else arrived.
Yes.
Now, if that takes 15 minutes, and that's probably on the bigger scale of this, it takes 15 minutes for someone to get there. You go to the driver and you speak to them, and you keep them calm, you keep them blah blah blah. Why you just kind of jerking them off until you have someone else to come by.
Hold that thought. I have no. You don't even have to get to the point of jerking them off, because I think we talked about this earlier. I have, and Brian, correct me if I'm wrong. Even if I get to a point where I know that I'm going to be searching this car, I'm ripping this car apart, I'm taking their keys, and I have no problem explaining to them why I'm taking their keys. Hey, I already know this, and this. And when my other unit gets here, we're tearing this car apart. And listen, if that person wants to get out then and the fight's on, so be it. I don't because again, like I was going to say before we even got to Brian, somebody that has a warrant knows they have a warrant. Now the question just is this cop going to find out about that warrant, or does this cop know about that warrant? Mm-hmm. And for me, because again, it's not a fear thing. This is just a safety thing. It's not a fear thing. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to tell you, hey, yeah, I know this, and this. When my buddy gets here, we're tearing this car apart. Is there anything in there I got to know about? By then, I got his keys. So now the only way for him to get away is to run.
Yeah.
And this is where I was going with before. And Brian, I'm sorry to cut you off. You keep going when I'm done. I promise. If the only way for this guy to get away at that point is to run, and again, if he's going to run, bro, we're going to fucking catch him. Today, tomorrow, next week, we're going to catch him. You know what, though? I'm going home.
Yeah. But, Brian, so you do a car stop, right? You think, you get raised up a little bit, and you call for someone to come, or just the fact that you put the car stop over, I would think that other officers might come. And there might be, I don't know where you worked, might be a, said 8, 10, 12, 15-minute window. Some of these places have Alaska. We talked to a guy in Alaska a couple weeks ago where it's 45 minutes before they get there. Your backup is 45 minutes away.
My God, damn,
really? When you're doing a solo car stop, how would you control that person that you're stopping, not to get them all freaked out, to make sure it goes well for everyone?
Well, I think a lot of it comes down. I mean, a lot of it's going to come down to how do you talk to people? Do you have interpersonal communication skills? Can you resolve a situation, or can you communicate with someone
1,000%.
in a manner where they, don't get jacked up? Now, if he starts getting too jacked up, he starts getting too agitated, and I'm starting to feel, threat at this point. I'm going to get on the radio. I'm going to notify him to, have backup step it up. And then if I need to, then I'm going to go ahead and get him out and handcuff him. Because I have detained him. Whenever I stopped him, he's detained. So I'm going to go ahead and put him in cuffs for my safety, because I can articulate by his actions and what he was doing.
Articulation.
For my safety.
Articulation.
But before you pull him out of the car, while you're waiting for but you already reached that point now where he's jacked up and like, oh shit, like it's going to be
this
on.
Could be a problem.
Right. Your first option is to keep him in the car till you're back up.
I want him to stay in the car as long as possible. But now if he starts forcing the issue, he's trying to open the door and bail out on me and stuff like that, then, I can sit there and play door with him for a while, and we can slam it open and all those kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
But at some point, he may have to come out, and we may have to get it on.
Yep.
But,
Hey, Brian, this is
most of the time, that's not the situation.
Yes.
When I approach the car, I introduce myself, tell him why I've stopped them, get their information. If I got a scent or if I smell something and I'm going to do a search or I have backup coming, then I'm going to go back to my car and want to start running my checks and, checking the DL, the registration, doing all these kind of, normal things that we do, writing citations, whatever I'm doing, and give my backup time to get there before I go back.
So I'm assuming that most of your work is one-man car?
Yes.
And you can attest to this, and maybe Ron can too. I can't. I didn't do the two-man car. That was two-man cars.
Most of ours are one-man, but we have our backups are minutes away.
Yeah.
Brian, interdiction trained or no?
No, I'm not interdiction trained.
Okay, so again, from the same seat as me, would you ever see the rationale to taking an unhandcuffed suspect, who at this point, obviously, the fact that you're sitting him in the front seat of your RMP,
which means you're raised up,
would you ever see the benefit to that tactic? Again, acknowledging.
No, personally,
go ahead.
Personally, I don't. If someone come out of a car with me, if I was bringing someone out, say I smell alcohol and I need to do some field tests. If someone comes out of the car, my first thing I'm going to ask them is, "Hey, you got any weapons on you? Anything, hurt me? You got any guns, hand grenades, anything like that?" And then they're going to say no. You care if I check real quick? So now I've got consent to pat him down. I'm going to pat him down. Now, if he needs to go in my car, he's going to be in the back seat and he's going to be handcuffed.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. You can't get in my car without handcuffs.
Of course.
Because here's the problem. Most of society believes that once you're handcuffed, you're under arrest. And we were taught that you're not, I put these cuffs on you, it's for my safety. And that's all I care about. You're not under arrest.
They can come off as easy as they went off.
Yeah.
Hey, Brian, Ron Torres, quick question for you. Where you worked at in relation to the New Mexico incident, did you have people bring their guns out to you? In that video, you see him conversing with the driver, and then he tells him, you have any weapons? And the guy says, yeah, and he says, let me, I'm going to, let's go back to the vehicle and let me get that all for you for my safety. What was your normal procedure if somebody did say to you, yeah, I had a weapon on me, and they were still in the car? What would your procedure be, or what was your policy as far as your agency went?
Okay, it's hard to understand through your mic. I couldn't understand exactly what your question
He's also from Jersey, so he speaks with mumble mouth.
in relation to the New Mexico incident.
Translator.
In relation to the New Mexico incident, What was your policy as far as your
I
department?
speak Southern English, Ken.
So T barely speaks English.
Yeah, barely. What was your policy or your agency protocol as far as removing somebody from a vehicle with their weapon? In that video, he tells the guy to bring the weapon out to him and let him take it off him. What would you guys do, being that you work, solo and your backup was so far away?
I don't think there's an existing policy for someone that legally owns a firearm.
Well, but again, hold on, Brian. Before you answer, you got to remember every state is different with their carry laws. So that's why, like I said, like this guy, Trooper Jarrett, when he was looking, he sees this guy has an AR. That might not be out of the norm for him. So again, like basically what T is saying is, and again, Brian, we're not saying where you work. I mean, every department is different. But if you for again a trooper in New Mexico, seeing somebody with a weapon on them might not be that out of the norm. Hey, sir, do me a favor. I see you have your weapon. I'm gonna take that from you.
Or just leave it there. Just leave it on the front bench.
I think I know where T is driving.
Yeah, but in Florida, everybody had carry permits also. Go
ahead, Brian.
Our discretion. It's our discretion. Like up until recently, in the state that I work in, you used to have a permit to have a concealed weapon. And up until recently, the governor has signed a law now that as long as you are legally able to have a gun, then you can have a gun. Very strong on Second Amendment protection. But if I run across a gun and it's a person who has, and that's through our driver's license, a person we know, our dispatch can tell us immediately that they have a current carry permit, then I'm going to ask them. And they're also taught in their training when they get their permit that if they are pulled over, they're to notify us that they do have a concealed carry permit and their gun is located wherever they have it.
Yeah, but this wasn't a concealed. This was a long rifle. This is a long rifle.
Yeah, right. That's the honest,
it's a whole different animal.
I run across a guy that's a scale, and I run across him, and he's got a gun. Then he gets to see my gun. Mm-hmm. Okay, and then we're going to deal with that situation. However, if I need to get him out at gunpoint or to get the gun or whatever I need to do, but that's how that's handled.
And again, I mean, coming from a state or an area where the open carry is not so common, I would think that even if it was common, I don't think, and again, maybe these guys become, complacent or not, numb to the fact that this is, something that could kill them. I would think that even in a routine, even though there's no such thing as routine traffic stops, even just in an everyday traffic stop, if somebody has a weapon on them, I think I would say, hey, listen, I understand that's yours. You're allowed to carry it. No problems.
Oh, yeah.
Do me a favor.
Yeah.
Leave it there. I'm coming to you. Don't touch it. Don't move it. I'm going to take it. I'm going to secure it. I'll unload it, put it on the hood. I'm not going to confiscate it or anything. I'm just going to make it safe. I'm going to put it on the hood. And when we're done here, I'll give you everything back. I
actually put it in the car. I put it in my car. I didn't put it on the hood. I would take it and put it in my car.
So that's happened. You've actually taken a gun from a legal owner of a firearm and said, "Hey, I'm going to take this over here, and if we're good, you're going to get it back."
Yep.
And didn't have a problem.
It's written in the law that gun is to basically be surrendered to a law enforcement officer during a traffic stop if the officer chooses to take it.
Perfect. And there's the difference. And there's the difference because the folks that actually legally own them and follow those laws will gladly give you that gun 100%. And say, hey, no worries, officer, take it. And in 15 minutes from now, I'm going to be driving back home or to the restaurant or whatever. But it doesn't.
And those are
It doesn't
the people
apply
that
to.
I'm on the side of the road in a gun. Those are the people that, if I'm on the side of the road in a gunfight, are likely to stop and start throwing rounds.
Yes, dude, 100%, 100%.
Yes.
The problem in this country is not the legal gun owners. The problem in this country is the illegal gun owners.
Of course.
Like there's the worries, and what happens is that when shit like this happens in New Mexico, they paint us all with the same broad stroke of the brush that say, "Hey, we need to remove this because this is what happened." Yeah, all those mass shootings in the schools and the churches and the places of business, the people that did that are not law-abiding citizens. The law-abiding citizens get stopped by you, and they give you their gun. And they say, "No worries, officer. And listen, if I have a warrant because I have a suspended driver's license, fine. You're going to take my gun. I'm going to square this away. I'm going to get it back."
Yep.
I don't know what the problem was in New Mexico. I don't know what that shooter was thinking. I don't know what he had.
He apparently he was involved in some kind of drug.
No. He is a drug part of the drug cartel.
Yeah, he was either on his way to a drug.
So you have to treat every single stop as if it's that. It's that. And if they don't comply, you will need to your antennas go up. Your little spidey senses have to chime in and figure out, oh, this is not right.
And again, not to second guess that specific stop.
Not at all.
But
Not at all.
This again brings it full circle to why would you put an unknown in the front seat of your fucking RMP?
But he wasn't, though. He was just trying to get that guy out of the car.
No, he was going to bring him back to the car.
But we don't know. We don't know if he was going to cuff him in the back seat. Why? Because he's dead. We don't know if he was going to do that. He was removing him. He was trying to remove him from the car. He was trying to remove him from the gun. We don't know how that would have planned out.
Well,
we don't.
I'm not going to say that. He won't.
We don't. We don't know.
All right. Yeah.
You know. We don't know
if he was trying to remove him from the gun, he wouldn't have given him the opportunity to carry the gun out. And I'm not trying to say yes, he did.
He didn't say take the gun out. No, he didn't. He didn't say, "Oh, pick up your gun and bring it out."
He said leave it there.
He said leave it there. Yeah.
He said leave it there. And
he said leave it there and come out of the car. And the guy came out of the car and he grabbed it at the last minute and he fucking lit him up.
Because as soon as the cop started walking away, that's when
I think he said to him, he says, when he came out of the car, he says, "And let me take the gun off you." Right. That's what he said in the video. So, is that normal, for them out there? I mean, who knows? He could have probably did that a million times before with no issues whatsoever. But like Brian just said, us in Florida was the same thing. If I stopped somebody, and I did a bunch of times, I stopped somebody with a gun, that had a legal right to have it, a permit, whatever. I would take it from them. We would run it just to make sure, and then hold on to it once the stop was over. The gun, I usually put it back into the trunk of their car, or not loaded or anything, but back in the trunk of their car, and told them, go ahead and just grab it when you get back home or wherever your stop was. So.
All right. I think we covered that subject enough. Brian, thank you so much for calling in.
You're famous now.
I was begging. Honestly, Brian, I was begging for someone like you that works solo patrol. No, I'm not even kidding you. You're like,
if I had mood music, I'd play it for you guys.
I was begging, and we do this every show. We beg people to call in and just give their perspective of where they work, because I'm not going to ask you where you work, but we work where we work, and we just want to hear from other people. It's a really large.
Brian deserves an autographed line of duty hat.
I don't autograph shit.
Good idea.
But you should honestly listen. Not for nothing, you should send Brian a line of duty package.
If Brian emails me at lodcigars.com, lodcigars@gmail.com, Brian will get a line of duty cigar package. Brian, lodcigars@gmail.com. Send me an email. Say, hey, I'm Brian from the show last night, and I will hook you up. If you don't smoke cigars,
thank you. I appreciate it.
Dude, if you don't smoke cigars, give them to your friends. This is the most pro law enforcement anything that you will ever be part of and we take care of our own.
And if you don't smoke cigars, they'll send you hash.
or heroin. or heroin. What are the heroin, brother?
LODcigars@gmail.com.
LODcigars@gmail.com.
Send nudes.
Well, Josh has an idea of where I work, and he can tell you off air, and it might make sense why things are why I'm telling you things are. But guys, I appreciate it, and I appreciate what y'all are doing. You know, putting the good word out, and trying to help all of our brothers and sisters
Absolutely,
out there during these times. I appreciate the work.
Absolutely, bro.
Now we're trying.
Honestly, Brian, there's no one else out there like what we're doing. They just try to kill us. They try to kill us. They try to find every option to beat us up. And this show, what we do, and this network,
Shameful.
Network.
Blue Broadcast Network. We're just trying to help guys out. The men and women that do it every day have done it every day, and will continually do it every day. We appreciate your time. Awesome.
Thank you, brother.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Thank
Brian.
you, brother. Be safe.
Thanks,
Be
Brian.
safe, brother.
Take care,
Brian.
I mean, again, Tommy, it's not at all. It's not at all to second guess. The Jarrett from the Mexico. It's not at all to do that. He's deploying a tactic that they've been taught, trained, and again, I hate to reference TV shows because none of it is real or whatever. But you just see a lot of it on live PD before it was gone, and it always seems, correct me if I'm wrong, but it always seems like it's troopers that are doing it, and it always seems like it's troopers west of the Mississippi.
I think Oklahoma does it. Oklahoma State.
A lot of places do
a lot.
Obviously, I can't speak on it from experience, but for a lot of those guys, I think it's a thrill of the hunt for them. They do it. They know the risks getting involved in it. They know what they're doing. They're trained to do it. And me personally, I don't think if I was in that situation, I'd be for it. But they love that thrill of the hunt. They're getting big busts. They're getting thousands upon thousands of dollars worth of product or money or cartel. They're doing big shit.
But Johnny, when you're, again, like we stated earlier, when your primary goal is we all go home, I don't give a fuck how many millions of dollars of drugs you're seizing.
But everybody's mindset is different.
That one that goes bad, is it worth it?
No, it's not.
It's not.
But to us in here, it's not worth it.
Because you know what? If I sit there and I interview a guy in the car and I take his keys and I do all the things I do and he takes off and he fucking runs, you know what? I'm going home.
But you might take his keys. He might still have the gun. You take his keys, so he can't drive anywhere. And he can still shoot you.
And you know what? He's more likely to. If I take his keys, go back to my car, run the name, and do all that stuff, he knows what I'm gonna fucking find out.
He knows what's gonna happen.
He's more likely to fucking run than he is to turn and shoot at me. I put him in my fucking car with me. Dude, he knows I'm sitting there running his name on the computer, and the whole time he's sitting there knowing, like, oh man, this guy's gonna find out about my fucking probation warrant.
There's a huge probability that he will do something.
Of course, and then we talk about the single patrol. What do you do now? Like, again, regardless of where any of us work or whatever, some MDTs, some computers make a distinct noise when a warrant pops up on the thing. So now here the two of us are sitting in the car. Boop.
Jail, motherfucker.
Yeah. You're typing the name of the thing, and everyone goes, wee! Like, and now here's that awkward moment where, like, he knows you know, and now what?
So
what are you gonna do?
Jacket?
Josh, are you running them on your computer or are you running them via your radio?
Computer.
So you're sitting back in the car while he's in the car.
Computer. Correct. And again, I have where I'm at. I have the luxury of, even if I'm on a solo patrol, my nearest backup is minutes away, if not less.
Same here, but you were comfortable doing it in the car, sitting in the car, and doing it there.
100%. 100%. Because you know what? If I stopped somebody, and if I had something on a because first of all, I do For me, and this is me personally, not required by my department, and not even required by any department in my area.
We have a call.
So fuck my story.
Yeah, fuck your story. Absolutely fuck your story. Because it goes on and on and on.
It doesn't.
Mike, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, Mike. What's up?
Mike Freed, NYPD, very vocal, very pro-police. I'm gonna go to the point that Mike and I know.
Flip the pages.
No, I'm flipping the pages here. Mike, I'll tell you what. We're going to write to this. First of all, thank you for calling in. I know we live really close to each other, and we support what we both do. But you and I have disagreed on the Capitol Police shooting, and I would love to touch on this without getting crazy here. The officer that
So we're skipping right past the interdiction. We're getting past that.
Yeah. Well, we have a caller, and Mike watches the show every week.
Yes, he does.
Mike
Yes, he does.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, Mike, I'm not shitting on you. I'm shitting on Tommy.
DOJ has decided not to prosecute the officer that shot the woman, Ashley Babbitt, that came through the window there, and you and I have disagreed on that. And there's lots of reasons why cops disagree on this, and one of them is that if the white cop shot a black person coming through that window, it would be a whole different animal, but they wind up
Allegedly.
shooting.
Allegedly. You don't know.
There's no allegedness, but it was a white woman that came in there to come into that vestibule that was protecting the vice president and the elected officials of this country. And you have been very vocal on that to say, why has not that cop not been identified and prosecuted? So, what do you got?
I don't disagree with you. I just disagree that everyone, to me, it has nothing to do with color, anything like that. Just how come everyone's not being treated the same? Because, we have the Otter, who's, being charged. Then you have the other officer that we just had from Kenosha, who just got back his job for his shooting. But I think, that's a little bit different. And then, of course, don't forget about the officer that we had within, the department, NYPD, the housing officer, supposedly accidental discharge where the bullet went off the wall in the hallway. But, he got convicted. It's like, if you're going to do for all, what I'm trying to say is if it's one, you're going to convict,
There's
one...
There's no consistency. There's no consistency. And listen, me and Tommy were arguing this earlier in the night. So Mike, you're not alone. I'm probably
Mike, you're not alone.
My frustration, of course. I mean, listen, that officer, considering what he was protecting and who he was protecting, he's justified, and that's what he's told to do. That's what he's trained to do. That's what he's expected to do. So by all means, he should be supported in that. That sentiment, though, needs to be across the board, and it's not. And I think when you see cops now, like, again, Tommy's getting frustrated. Like, why would cops be pissed off that this officer is being exonerated and not being? Because cops are pissed off because it's like, well, wait a minute, why is this guy or girl? I know it's a guy, but why is this guy or girl being treated differently than police officers in local jurisdictions or state? Why is he being treated differently than these cops who are doing the exact. They're doing what they're trained to do.
Because anytime a cop can be indemnified for a shooting, it should be a good thing. I don't care what the reasoning behind it is, whether it's color or the people that they were actually going after. Like, anytime you can get a win, you get a win. And this was a win for law enforcement, I think. Honestly, I think this is a win for law enforcement.
It's a win for...
This was a Joe Biden-led DOJ. This was a Joe Biden-led DOJ that said, we don't... Now, there's two sides to this. So if that Biden-led DOJ says, hey, there's no crime committed because the insurrection was so amazing and so awful that they had to shoot, now, that's one way. Or it's the other thing is that, the guy was just doing his fucking job to say, protect the vice president.
Do you say a win is a win is a win because of that? Or do you say the win is a win because of who was behind those other doors?
Don't really know. I don't know enough about that.
What that is where if Mike is frustrated, and Mike, I'll let you speak for yourself after I hijack the call. But no,
at least he identifies it, Mike.
Listen, I'm honest. If the win is a win because of again, procedure, and then that's great. That's fantastic. But if the win was a win because of who all was involved, that's not really a win. That's not a win.
So the question is that
actually creates more.
So the question to Mike is that why do you feel that that wasn't a good decision to not indict or charge the officer that shot Ashley?
Mike, you answer first, and then I'll go.
No.
Go ahead. I'll go.
Mike, why do you think that not charging the officer shooting Ashley was a good thing?
Wait, which officer?
The Capitol officer who has been named that shot Ashley coming through the window at the Capitol. Why is it a bad thing that they didn't indict that officer?
That they didn't.
They didn't charge the Capitol police officer that shot Ashley Babbitt coming through the window.
Right.
Why is that a bad thing?
I just think it's like it is. I guess it is a win for law enforcement, but.
Why do you disagree? No, why do you disagree? So you think that the officer that shot Ashley Babbitt should have been charged? We know that based on your post in Fakebook land. Why is it a bad thing that officer was not charged with shooting her?
Well, I personally think the way that it seems, because that if I remember, it was only one shot also, right?
Yep.
I guess, for me, I would also consider it, if everyone, that probably could have been accidental, too.
It wasn't accidental. No way, no how, no fucking way.
Nope.
That officer intentionally shot his gun at the person that was coming through that window.
Justifiably.
And well,
justifiably.
Some people say justifiable and some say not.
Not even.
But Mike thinks that it's not justifiable and there should be charges. And my question is why? Why do you think, what did that officer do that he should be charged with a crime?
Well, don't forget, she was unarmed. I'm just on that wavelength of that, again, everyone should just be treated the same. You can't just charge one and not charge the other. That's just my way of thinking.
It's consistency. And here's the thing, Tommy. the Capitol Police officer should not be charged. Or, I don't know if he was Capitol Police or whoever he was.
Capitol Police.
I think it's Capitol Police.
He's been identified.
He should not be charged.
Why is that?
Pause. That's what like Tommy had said. First of all, when you think about what he's protecting, who he's protecting, that is what he is trained to do. And I know Tommy used the example of embassies and Benghazi specifically.
Yeah.
These guys are trained. If anyone that you cannot identify and that is refusing to be identified is coming through that door, you shoot them. There's no questions asked. That's what they are trained to do. And whether or not it was Mike, whether or not it was Mike Pence or not, who cares who he was protecting? Let's just assume whoever that specific officer was protecting, he was trained to say, listen, if anybody is breaching this door, you are to kill them. There's not a question. That is what he is trained to do. Unarmed, not armed, unarmed, armed, doesn't make a difference. If anybody is breaching this door, you are to kill them. That is what you are trained to do. And he did that. He should be indemnified. That's what he's taught to do. My issue comes in the inconsistency. These politicians, I have a lot of descriptive words for them. The hypocrites, well, let's call them that. These hypocrites are okay indemnifying a police officer that's protecting them, and I'll let you get to Rashida Tlaib. I know it's your favorite. These politicians are okay indemnifying these police officers, but when it comes to local police officers, city police officers, state troopers, that same standard suddenly disappears. Now what these officers are trained to do doesn't apply anymore. Mm-hmm. And that level of indemnification and discretion and, hey, we trust your judgment and what you were trained to do, it goes out the fucking window. And that's what I'm sure that's the same thing that I'm sure that's the same thing that drives.
My question to Mike is, why should that Capitol officer be charged?
Mike?
Why should that officer be charged?
I'm just doing it because the other officers have been charged. It's just, I know others feel the same way too, but I think everyone forgets, again, because they're Capitol Police, they fall under different rules than regular law enforcement.
No, they don't.
And I think
they don't. Mike, they don't. They fall under the same exact rules. They fall under the same exact rules. And in the law enforcement community, you can shoot an unarmed person if you can articulate why you did it. That's the rule. You can't just walk around shooting people. But when you're charged with,
and this officer did. This officer didn't just walk around. No. He was standing at a point.
He was charged with defend this door.
Yes.
At all cost.
Yes.
No one comes in here. These are every single elected official, or 90% of the elected officials in this country, and the vice president. And people will say, well, why does the vice president get more protection than the rest of us? Because He's the vice president. He's the vice president. Those Congress people, those senators, they get more protection than regular Joe Blow.
But you know when that becomes a problem? And Mike, again, I'm sorry if I'm hijacking a call. You know when that becomes a problem? When those same fucking suits will turn around and call for defunding the fucking police.
Exactly.
Rashida Tlaib.
I agree.
Rashida Tlaib enjoys the protection of law enforcement, and then says that we should not only destroy law enforcement, there should be no police. There should be no incarceration. She said
we need to end this state of
Rashida Tlaib supports PLO.
Hold on. This wasn't like the guys in the vestibule on the first floor. This wasn't like oh, this is the area that is open to the general public, and they shot somebody. They got up to the place where every elected official in this country was secure, and they were told, secure this location. You cannot. They didn't know what to expect. They didn't know if there were people coming in to kill them.
And you know what?
It's a whole different animal.
And you know what? The fear that those elected officials felt when they were cowering in their fucking offices. Not AOC, because she wasn't anywhere near.
She was a mile away.
She was a mile away. But the fear that those elected officials felt at that time when they were cowering in their offices, they should understand that the fear, the 75-year-old fucking man and woman hiding in their fucking house because they can't go out in every major city in the United States,
that the woman getting beat up outside of that Rite Aid.
They should understand that before they call for fucking defunding the police.
But true. But as a cop, that officer that actually fired that shot, that cop has to live with that forever. That shot, that single shot, stopped the insurrection. That single shot stopped anyone else from coming through that door. Yes. Where these elected, again, I don't protect.
He did what he was supposed to do.
He did what I honestly believe that. I really do. Most of Congress, most of Senate, I don't agree with. I think they're all a bag of shit, but they're elected officials. The vice president was there. Is what it is. Is what it is. When cops call for, how come that cop wasn't charged? That Capitol, we should be happy that they weren't charged, right?
Well, I agree.
Right.
That's honestly, that's just the way I feel.
But doesn't Secret Service protect the vice president as well?
They weren't there. The Secret Service was wrapped around the VP. The Capitol Police were charged with protect this vestibule, because where those doors were, there was a vestibule there, and then right beyond that vestibule were the offices of all the elected officials.
We'll call it what it is. They weren't expecting any of that.
Of course they weren't.
So it happened. That's what it is.
Mike, I come back to you, and I don't want to attack you. We're Facebook friends, and we normally agree on everything what we see. I just don't get how we can't agree that that shooting, and the only difference in that shooting versus other shootings was that if the woman that came through that window was black, that guy would have been charged. That cop would have been charged fucking 7 charges.
Probably.
No, probably. Guaranteed. But they did. I can't really say I would have done the same thing. I don't really know. I just.
All I can say is that we're seeing reversed racism against. It's not against black people no more. It's against white people. It's like this. Oh, you did this to me back in 10 years ago. I'm gonna do this to you the way you did to me. So that's how I see it.
So you look forward, right? You look forward past this, Mike, and you say, all right, if that shooting doesn't happen, and then all the 50 people in the hallway get through, they have access to our elected officials. Most of them, which by the way, I could give 2 shits about. Honestly, I can give 2 shits about them. I think, though, that the law enforcement officers that had an obligation to protect them, like we said about Benghazi, that no one gets in here. No one gets in here.
Mm-hmm.
What I want to know is, why do you think that officer that actually made that shot should be charged?
I see no reason, actually.
I'm for him not getting charged. It is a good thing he's not charged. We say, we should be happy about that.
There you go.
The only reason I was going for the being charged now is like the consistency. If we're going to do all, if you're going to charge one, do all. That's
charge
the
all.
reason why.
And that makes sense, but that doesn't really exist in this culture now. We know that certain things happen for certain reasons. Every incident is different. So when you and I are part of some other NYPD groups, which we might talk about a little later.
Wait, you were NYPD?
No, I wasn't. Barely. Where we see, and you and I have spoken often about the one group that is all about race and division. It just doesn't help. It doesn't help us as a police society. It doesn't help us as retired. It certainly doesn't help the active guys. If you fuck up, you're going to be held accountable. If you are a racist asshole that just wants to go out and hurt people of a certain skin color, you're going to be held accountable. Certain incidences are almost always brought back to politics or race, and they just don't need to be. Right? Like we agree on this. Like, not every shooting, just because a white cop shoots a black person, is a racial incident. And when a white cop shoots a white person, it's not or doesn't shoot a white person. It's not anti. If that person was dark skinned, they would have been shot.
Listen, we know that, Tommy. But
we know that.
But it's presented that way each and every day. They're calling this woman that shot this dude, whatever the fuck his name is. I don't know.
Deshaun, whatever the fuck.
Fuck. Who gives a fuck? The white devil. I understand that. I know it's a family show, but he is after hours, so fuck it.
Yep.
There was a woman that made a comment on a post on a page that we all follow that called this woman, the officer, a white devil, that she knew exactly what she was doing. So I said to her, I says, please tell me when you were a police officer, when was the last time you were a police officer? And furthermore, I says, you're now psychic, so you were in her head, so you can tell what she was thinking at the time that incident happened. I said, okay, well then if that's the case, that piece of shit was going to the car to get a gun and shoot all the cops, so he deserved what he got. Period. Okay, and if he's a gangster and a thug and he wants to live that life, then he died doing what he loved, as far as I'm concerned. Okay, I mean, I don't, again, it's not that. It's again, there's cops that work in the ghetto all over this country, and it's never ever been that. It's what the politicians make it, what administrators of police departments have allowed for it to happen, and it was case in point with the Brooklyn chief or public safety director, whatever he was, when he went against the reporters saying that it was a riot, and then the next thing you know, he's removed.
Actually, he was removed because he said, "Let's call for due process."
Okay,
that's why the mayor relieved him, because he said, "Let's let due process take its course."
Okay, so who's the racist there? The people that are always calling racism, they're always saying everybody's racist, are the most racist people.
Right. Projection. Right there.
Bottom line.
Did you guys see the any of the mayor's two press conferences at all?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
It was funny looking at.
We played. Actually, no, I don't know if we play. Jacob, if we play the video, will Mike see it or?
Yeah, I thought. No.
Mike. We're gonna play it again for effect, Mike. We're gonna play it again. Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Hold on.
Make sure we sit down and go through it and see how we can implement. I don't believe that officers need to necessarily have weapons.
Or I can just start talking.
Every time they're making a traffic stop.
On the next piece. It's a really good piece.
Don't say that.
Yo, I mean, all right.
That's fucking great.
Listen, in defense of Mike, I think I understand. I think a lot of the police officers that you are seeing, and listen, disclaimer, asterisk, whatever you want to put next to it, there are some real buddy fuckers out there. And to see, and I know if that's the piece you were getting to, I don't want to step on it, to see the way some of these quote-unquote cops are piling on.
Don't even get me started on that.
Dude, they're the same scumbags that are at Police Week every year throwing brother around like singles at fucking strip clubs. are piling on this woman.
Listen,
different. The majority of cops, I feel, I have to believe, because it'll keep my sanity. The majority of cops that are expressing frustration over the Capitol cop not being charged is not anger, like they don't feel like, yeah, this guy should be charged. No, of course they're happy this guy didn't get charged. I think the anger is coming from the hypocrisy. They're coming from the different treatment that police officers are getting, and you know, oh, because this guy was protecting this asset and this asset, suddenly he's held to a different standard. No, every police officer is given a specific set of rules, guidelines, whatever, and if as long as they are following them, they should be covered without question. The same way this guy in the Capitol should 100% be covered. No question. He should not be charged. No question. And I'm not even going to get into the names because I'll start riots in Haledon, New Jersey. But there's a lot of other police officers that shouldn't even be. The fact that they're on trial right now is embarrassing. And I'll start with my favorite. I'll start and end with my favorite, and I'm not going to get into it. I know, Tommy, I feel you looking at me. Aaron Dean. The fact that Aaron Dean is sitting right now facing charges as a fucking murderer should embarrass everybody. It should embarrass everybody. And that's where the anger comes from. You're going to indemnify, you're going to cover and not even charge this person, but you're going to fucking charge Aaron Dean with murder? Yeah? That in the same country. In the same country. Fuck out of here. That's where I think that's where I think a lot of the anger comes from. It's not, and again, Mike, if I'm misspeaking, correct me, but I think a lot of where that anger comes from is not so much saying, oh, we wish this guy from the Capitol was charged. No, they're saying the opposite. They're saying we wish that everybody out on the fucking street got the same level of consideration that this Capitol cop got. That's where the anger is coming from. That's personally what I feel. And Mike, like I said, if I'm misspeaking, well, then I apologize. Fuck Tommy anyway.
No, you're spot on.
There it is. There it is. Tommy, I know you said you had a piece you wanted to get to. I apologize.
I have lots
Mike, I apologize for hijacking 90% of your call.
Right. But the one thing I want to say about the two press conferences, there were reporters and activists. The activists were the ones asking the questions.
Correct. He's 100%
You'll never
right.
see that. You'll never see that in New York. You'll never, even though we have De Blasio, you'll never see something like that.
No, get ready because you're gonna start. You're gonna start seeing it everywhere. You're gonna.
We are moving on. We are moving on to the next piece. Thank you, Mike. We will get together and we will listen. We will have we have Chinese food on Flatbush. I know it's your spot. It's my spot. It's my family spot. We will definitely we will meet on Flatbush and Quentin for some Chinese food soon. I promise.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Mike.
See you soon.
So, Blue Broadcast Network.
Finally,
BBN.
You got it right.
BBN. Wow. Blue Broadcast Network is where you will find this show.
Yes.
You will find Outraged by Mike the Cop. What's it called?
Uncensored.
Wow. Uncensored with the real Mike the Cop.
Wow.
And the unknown detective. Whoever the fuck that guy is.
Barbara from Brooklyn, right?
Barbara from Harlem.
Barbara from Harlem.
Tommy. And Tommy
from Staten Island.
So, guys, Blue Broadcast Network. Follow us on Facebook. That's where you're going to see these shows going forward. That's where you're going to find these shows, the past episodes that we've done. We're trying to get off of the Blue Room podcast page, and everything's going to come back to Blue Broadcast Network. So do that. I would like to. I would love to talk a little bit about social media. So social media in law enforcement is a big deal for me. I am a member of lots of groups, and
So I've heard.
yeah, you've heard. And what separates the BBO from every other fucking police group that I'm in, so BBO is Brothers Before Others. The one thing that separates, and it's really not the one thing, but it's the biggest.
I don't know.
If you're not a brother,
Get the fuck out!
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
The biggest difference between BBO and every other police group that I'm in,
Mike Burke.
is that
We do it for real.
BBO
Mike Burke.
does not allow you to.
Mike Burke.
That's fine.
No, that,
BBO does not allow you to motherfuck other cops. BBO does not allow you to second guess cops. Mainstream media hates us. The people that are vocal in social media, they hate us. Even though I think it's a smaller piece of what we're doing, but like I said, the greasy wheel gets the oil. It's not allowed, and I am part of lots of groups, retired NYPD groups, and they just love to motherfuck cops, and I don't get it. We've spent the better part of the last, pick a number, 10 years. We spent the better part of the last 10 years fighting mainstream media. And the fight is up.
what was Obama's first?
2002?
no, 5, 6.
Has to be an even number.
No, 2008.
There was two.
Since Obama's been in office.
2 and 8.
Since Obama's been in
I
office.
thought
2008. 2008 was first year.
Doesn't matter. We as cops have long fought this bullshit where we're attacked by mainstream media and the politicians. And now what's happening is that our own people are attacking us from within. And I just don't get it. Why do we feel the need to hurt each other? And honestly, it's black and white. It's fucking black and white. I post things on certain groups, and I see white officers responding one way and black officers responding another way, and I just don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me because I didn't grow up in my police department where there was a color barrier. Now, granted, I'm not going to deny the fact that the male white in this country, we're the people of power. It is what it is. You could fight me all you want. Male whites in this country have male whites. No, so now I'm segregating sex and the color. Male whites in this country are the people of power, and there's a reason for it, right? There's a reason for it, and it's not as bad as most people think it is. These groups have people that just attack, and they want to separate white cops from black cops, and I just don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. How do you, when you see any cop that doesn't get convicted of something, why is that a bad thing? They weren't charged. Well,
and listen, I know it's rhetoric, and
it is rhetoric.
People are going to roll their eyes. I've never gone to a job. I've never been dispatched to a job where I've asked for clarification on the race of the complainant.
Of course,
and the sex of the complainant.
And the fire department.
This job, there are people of every race, gender, religion that I would die for right now, that wear my uniform, that wear somebody else's uniform,
that don't wear exactly,
that have a shield on, that I would die for right now. This profession as flawed as it is, and you will never, ever eradicate 100% of the flaw that every profession has. You'll never eradicate it. But this profession, this thing that we do, is as close to flawless when it comes to that as you're gonna get.
I've had people.
Prove me wrong.
I've had a woman in one of my NYPD fucking retired Facebook groups say.
You were NYPD?
Yeah. So she basically said that the latest shooting in Minnesota, it was straight out murder. Straight out murder. That girl, that woman that said taser, blah, blah, that was murder. That in her mind, I swear to God, in her mind, she thinks that cop went out that day to kill someone of dark skin.
Which murder? Again, correct me if I'm wrong. Murder has to involve premeditation.
Well, that's what she said. That's what she's saying.
So we're all clear on this topic.
Yes.
Murder has to involve.
Yes.
That person had to set out and said, you know what? I'm gonna kill that motherfucker.
She had 20.
A conscious decision.
She has 26 years on the job, and in this person's eyes, who's claims to be retired NYPD, was going out that day saying, "I'm gonna kill a black person." And then when that shit went down, and she was saying taser, 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 in her mind, she knew she was taking out her fucking gun.
I don't think so.
Doesn't matter what you think.
I don't think so.
Doesn't matter what we think.
I think
there are people.
She made a mistake. That's
It
what
doesn't
I think.
matter what you think. There are people that think otherwise. There are people that think. There are cops. There are cops that think that woman went out that day to kill someone of brown skin, and like thought it all in their head. Oh, I'm like, it's shit hit the fan. And now I'm going to take out my gun and I'm going to scream, taser, 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 and I'm going to shoot with my gun. And I'm going to get away with it.
Nah.
Like, what the fuck planet do you live on?
I don't understand what cops' motivation are
to motherfuck other cops.
To make comments like that about other cops, because every cop, has been said before a million times, every cop is one call away, one job away, one radio run away from the same exact situation. Okay, and
Yeah,
to me,
true, I agree.
And listen, this is my opinion like assholes, everybody has them. But to me, those cops that make those comments and say those things like that are cops that either work in Mayberry or never been in that type of stressful situation to make a call like that.
Yep.
So I mean, again, that's my opinion only. What I don't understand is these cops getting these long dissertations on Facebook, and go up and down Facebook. You see it every day since this is any incident involving a police officer shooting somebody. The constant comments on these posts of these guys making and saying things like this. One of the things that aggravates me is all the comments that, like you just said, Tommy, that are made by active police officers. Oh, she should have known better. I would have never worked with her. This and that. The woman was a 26-year veteran. Not only a 26-year veteran, she was FTOing somebody that day. If I'm not mistaken, that black officer that was trying to handcuff him was her trainee. So this is obviously a woman that was highly regarded in her agency and worked very long in her career.
Former union president.
Former union president. That too, I forgot to mention that. And knew exactly what she was doing.
But as cop to cop, why would you motherfuck another cop like that?
I don't know. You 5 minutes.
I don't understand that. I will not understand that.
You know why?
Come out, said you know it.
Because it's virtue signaling.
Because they've never.
It makes
they
them
didn't
feel.
work the streets.
It
They don't know
makes
what
them
it's like.
feel-
They don't know. They don't know. Listen.
It makes them feel more woke amongst their friends.
Yeah, of course. To fit in. Listen, and you guys know very well, and Facebook knows very well, because I'm always in Facebook fucking jail. But
Yeah, I was gonna say, how would you know what goes on Facebook? You're never on it.
Right. I could see it, but I can't make comments on it, so I gotta text other people to make comments for me. But anyway, it's just aggravating me. The people making the comments and saying the things they're saying. But you're exactly right. To go ahead and try to fit in. Well, let me fit in. Let me show my friend here that I'm down with them. Listen, I don't give a fucking rat's ass how you feel about me, whether you're my friend or not. I can give two fucks. I'm going to say what's got to be said, and even more now that I'm retired.
And we're going to leave here back in Facebook jail already.
And But one thing I will never ever do is motherfuck another cop ever.
But Ron, wait, Josh, these are the cops probably that work in high-end neighborhoods that never, these situations never happen in those kind of areas where they work at.
What you're well, I'm sorry, I don't want to.
Two words. Due process.
Thank you.
End the story.
Yeah, I agree.
Due process.
Yes, I agree with that too. Due process.
Stop yelling at me. Stop yelling at me.
I'm not yelling.
It's due process. I don't care what the situation is. The prosecutors and the fucking they're gonna start their shit. If you were off, you're off. If you made a mistake, you'll be punished. If you were angry and racist and just fucking full of hate, you're gonna get punished. It's called due process. Why do you feel the need to attack anyone?
Let me ask you a question, and this is not rhetorical. I want a legitimate answer.
Okay.
I gotta pay.
Johnny, pay attention.
I gotta pay.
Go pee.
Still gotta pee.
I'm not gonna leave my show. I'm not Christian.
I want an answer. Who was the last police officer that you know for sure, via evidence, that killed somebody because he was racist? Go.
I haven't heard anything about that.
Honestly,
not that I know of.
Nobody.
No fucking body. No fucking body.
Every year, double-digit numbers. Police officers are assassinated, ambushed. Double-digit numbers
Assaulted.
every year.
That's scary.
Forget assaulted is even worse. Double-digit numbers assassinated. And it's all racist.
Because they wear a shield.
Because they wear a
That's
shield.
racist.
Lou and Ramos were shot in the head eating lunch on their fucking lap.
Because they wore a shield.
Why? Because they were cops. And the person that got up that morning bragged about leaving his house in Baltimore or wherever the fuck it was in Maryland to go kill cops. And then bragged about it after. There was no question about his motive. There was no.
He said it already.
This was not emotion. This was fact, and that happens double-digit times every year, without question. Bring to me somebody in uniform that killed another person without question, with similar evidence, killed a person simply because of their race. Bring it to me. Prove it to me, and then we'll have that argument.
It doesn't happen. It has never happened. Listen, a cop gets dressed for work each and every single day, and he doesn't think about, who am I? What black man or what black person I'm gonna go kill today? You know what a criminal does? Criminal gets up every day. Who the fuck I'm gonna rob today? How am I gonna make my money? That's true. How much fucking dope I'm gonna sell?
That's true.
Okay, but yet we want to put the onus and we want to put the blame on the cops. Let's stop blaming the fucking cops.
Listen, we're dealing with humans. Can I say for 100% that no police officer has ever got up in the morning and decided, hey, I'm going to work to kill somebody? I can't say that for 100%. We're dealing with humans.
I can't say anything. I don't know nobody.
Wait.
Stop. We're dealing with humans. I understand that we can't say that, but I can say for sure that people have gotten up in the morning with the sole intention of killing a police officer. That has happened.
It's the only job in the world
that has happened.
People
and there's been no debate about their motive. There's been no debate. We know it because they bragged about it.
Talk about death?
Fuck off.
Talk about death? 900 people on average.
Drinking iced tea.
900 people on average die at the hands of police officers. All right?
Jacob, put that picture up.
Okay, but here's my question. How many incidents have you heard of police officers shooting another police officer because they thought it was a suspect? Have you heard that before?
What is a suspect?
A suspect.
What does that question have?
Well,
what does that question?
900 last year.
Chris, it's happened.
The last 2 years. The last 2 years, the average is 911 people have been killed at the hands of police. Right? 911. So if you turn around and you dissect that number and say, hey, maybe 10%, 20% were malicious. right, of 900, between 251 and 440,000 people have died from medical malpractice. And the highest percentage is minorities. The highest percentage of minorities. So you have the numbers are staggering. The numbers are staggering.
It's on average 250,000 people a year to die of malpractice. 48,000 of which, on average, 48,000 of which are direct result of negligence or unnecessary surgery. 48,000 people a year.
Damn. No, it's not 48,000.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. It's 250,000.
No.
Stop. Pause.
If that's a case, then why would I hear lawsuits on it? Why?
Medical malpractice.
Yes, malpractice. But malpractice.
Unnecessary deaths by medical malpractice is between 251 and 440,000.
No, Tommy,
yes,
stop.
it is.
Tommy, I'm telling you, Tommy, I've had this argument a million times. I'm not going to disagree with you on your own show, but I am going to disagree with you on your own show. Tommy, 250,000 at that's malpractice, but specifically because there's a lot of different forms of malpractice and not all doctors.
No, it's not just doctors.
48,000 on average.
52% of it is in the ER.
All right, we're getting way off a fucking topic here.
How do we get from police officers to medical malpractice? I don't get it.
52% of that is in the ER.
You want to talk numbers? Fix my taxes.
52% is in the ER. 52% of that 251 to 440,000.
Meanwhile,
is in the ER.
Meanwhile, cops are getting fired for social media posts.
Yeah,
but that's a fact. In conclusion,
hypocritical.
I truly believe that the female officer from Brooklyn, Minneapolis, what she did was a mistake. Out of a severe pressure that she went through, she confused herself with her firearm. I guess a taser. She thought it was a taser when in reality it was a firearm. And when the split second that she realized that she used her firearm and actually shot the guy, right, Dwayne Wright, she said, "Oh shit, I shoot him. Oh shit." And but at the beginning, she said, "If you see the video,
first of all, don't say that fucking guy's name here."
I get it. This is not to second guess.
You see the video on YouTube. She said, "Taser."
I don't know what you're. Like I said, I don't listen. I don't give a fuck what she did.
While Tommy's gone, stop. While Tommy's gone, I'm going to use this opportunity to hijack the show. Listen, in the wise words of Danny DeValle, if I can give some advice to law enforcement, calm the fuck down.
Yeah, but you know...
Let me say it again. Calm the fuck down. Tommy, don't come back yet. You're not welcome back yet. All right. We are. If you are, and again, this is not meant. Wait, I'm in the middle of something, so don't.
I have the numbers. You don't.
This is not meant to second guess. We're family. All right, law enforcement. We're family. So I'm going to talk to you like you're family. And we're all at the fucking dinner table, and we're going to start kicking some advice around. Calm the fuck down. If you are 10 miles from where George Floyd was killed, be it by drugs, because of his drug dealer, whatever reason you want to come up with, if you are 10 miles from where George Floyd was killed, why the fuck are you doing traffic stops for expired registrations? It's not second guessing. Pause. This is not. I agree. Calm the fuck down.
Pump the brakes.
All right? We are in a situation as a profession now, as a family now, where we need to protect ourselves. It gets back to what I had said in the beginning of the show. Our primary goal is we all go home. That is our primary goal. I don't give a fuck about anything else. If somebody is not hurting or trying to kill, whatever, another one of my family members, people wearing a uniform, wearing a shield, what you think I give a fuck about a stolen car that the person whose car it is probably doesn't even give a fuck about anyway, because they're going to call insurance. Insurance doesn't give a fuck about anyway, because they're going to kick out half of what it's worth.
That's very easy for old crusty fucks like you.
No, it's not. No.
Yeah, there are still cops that they drank the Kool-Aid, and they're like, hey, I drank the Kool-Aid, you drank the Kool-Aid. Ronnie drank Kool-Aid. Yeah, we're doing good things.
No,
and when you do that job for so long, and you're trying to convince yourself to all of a sudden say, hey, this is what I signed up for. I'm aggressive. I'm doing this thing.
It's hard.
There are two.
It's hard to tell guys.
There's two reasons, and it's not. No, it's not.
It is hard.
No, it's not.
I agree with you, John.
I agree with you too.
But it's hard for guys.
It's not, because I'm. It's coming from personal experience. I am a proactive. I love this job. I love proactivity. I love activity in general. Nobody likes to use their handcuffs more than me.
What you do at home is your business.
True story. So, it's not. It's not easy for me to say, because yeah, fuck it. I don't really want to be doing this. No, I really want to be doing this, because I'm one of the people that believes if we stop doing what we're doing as police officers, it's almost like an admission of guilt. Like, if we slow down and stop doing, then it's like saying, hey, you know what we were doing,
you were wrong.
Right. And so I almost, part of me believes we should be actually ramping it up, because it's like saying, no, fuck this. I know what we're doing. We're on the right side of right. And we're going to keep fucking doing it, and I don't care if you like it or not, because we're not doing it anymore.
But you will lose your job. You will lose your job,
right,
and your pension, and your family security.
So that's why, as a family member, I'm telling you, calm the fuck down. On top of the fact, listen, you use this stop specifically, not second guessing. Use this stop specific, though. You're stopping somebody for an expired fucking registration. You get in the middle of this fucking thing.
Here's what I have to say.
The person takes off. Let him fucking go.
Okay, but
Chris, let him fucking go.
Okay, but what about the guilt and the anxiety that they might go through?
There's no guilt and anxiety. The guilt and anxiety. What is she going through right now? What is she going through right now?
Hell?
No. Let them go.
They're gonna get fucking caught.
Matter.
They're gonna get
for something else. Broken windows. They'll get them on something else
and go a different direction. You're making traffic stops for expired registration. Let's just say that's all this person had. Expired registration. You're going to break summonses off up this person's ass, who may have been pro law enforcement an hour ago, at a time when we need fucking allies. We need people to say good things about law enforcement. You're going to take 6 summonses and shove them up the ass of somebody who an hour ago probably would have said good things about law enforcement. Listen, if you wear a shield, I am by no means saying ignore crime. I'm not saying that.
And there's going to be people that will challenge that and say, you're a cop, you have to do... No.
I'm not saying ignore crime.
If you want to be a cop right now in this current environment, you want to be a cop and you want to get protected, you have to play the game. Your commissioners, your chiefs, your mayors, they don't protect you.
They will
fuck you in a minute. So you turn around and go, I am not going to go out of my way. So someone says, hey, I need help. you give them help.
100%.
That's it.
100%.
No one's saying not give help.
100%.
People ask for help.
100%.
This is why I don't see myself being a cop. I don't see myself.
Oh, I don't see that either, Christian. I don't see that either. Don't worry.
Honestly, I don't see myself being a cop because listen. I cannot help myself.
Johnny
say, hey, this guy could have killed someone else.
Had a fucking police department.
Could have done God knows what, and I could have stopped it because of a traffic stop.
When is Lenny DePaul coming on the show?
Oh,
when is Lenny DePaul? Yeah, when is Lenny DePaul? U.S. Marshal,
American badass.
When is Lenny DePaul, U.S. Marshal, coming on this show?
April
Do we have a date?
Next 420. Tuesday.
Yeah.
April 20th?
420. Oh, yeah.
He was on Manhunters, Fugitive Task Force.
That is
Hunting Hitler.
Listen,
this guy's
dude. If you don't know who Lenny DePaul is, that is.
Yeah, I saw him on Fugitive.
He's as badass as it gets. U.S. Marshal Service. Basically spent most of his career hunting down savages.
To put it in
Hunting
the words,
humans.
Yeah, well, listen. To put it in the words of somebody who was never worked with him, never knew him, middle of the fucking country, said this dude had real criminals in his crosshairs. Real criminals. Like this, yeah. Lenny DePaul is a fucking badass. Tuesday, 8 to 10, 420. 420.
What does that mean?
What does that mean? Can you enlighten? Hi, Jacob.
April 20th.
Actually, that's my day off. Actually, so you guys are gonna.
I think that's his date of birth.
We're gonna bring you a cake, man. Happy birthday to you.
We're not gonna give you a cake. We're gonna give you a brownie.
Go around the room.
Lenny DePaul on April 20th. Retired U.S. Marshal. Dude, this guy, he worked in Manhattan. This guy fucking locked up motherfuckers.
Yeah.
This guy locked up motherfuckers. Bad dude.
This is that's as real as it gets.
But the other thing is Andrew Weinstein. 10-2-3, the show was supposed to start a couple weeks ago, but we had some COVID outbreak. And May 15th.
Stop for me. I'm the elite special.
You still got a fucking outbreak going on.
May 15th.
God spares the special.
Andrew and Gunnar will be hosting U.S. Army veteran Earl Granville on the show as his first guest. We actually drank out of Earl's prosthetic leg. Which on this show we did. Yeah. We did. At Rachel's show,
his leg in front of him.
Yeah, we drank out of his leg.
Now we need to drink off of him.
His prosthetic leg.
Lay on the fucking table.
I think the only thing we can top that was like drinking out of Rachel's titty. Like, can we puncture that and drink that?
Listen, you've made enough off-color jokes about her shooting. Tommy, you just need...
That's what I do!
Tommy, you just need to stop. No, 10-3. I mean... Bring back serious. 10-3. No, Andrew's show is going to be... it's going to be unbelievable.
And they can watch it at the Blue Burger Network?
Oh God! Really?
Dude,
Mother of God.
Danny's gonna kill you. I mean, I don't know what it is about.
I'm not gonna be here though.
Yeah,
when that happens.
I don't know what it is about Danny.
I'll be busy fucking my cat.
It's nap time.
I don't know what it is about Danny that you think maybe he's joking. He's probably gonna kill you. It was nice having you as a host.
I had 14 months.
I'll be the main host.
All right, wait. Maybe Danny, don't kill Tommy.
I believe you are a host, but it has nothing to do with the radio show.
Let's see how that works out.
Chris, you got a plug?
Yes, as I always do. TheBlueMagazine.com, the national independent voice of law enforcement. And if you are into and you are passionate about what the law enforcement community does, just go to TheBlueMagazine.com and check out our latest issue revolving around God. God matters to law enforcement. Check it out at TheBlueMagazine.com.
Look at him go, dude.
So apparently God loves cops. Is that what you're saying?
Listen,
Carlos, everybody.
you need religion in your life. Johnny, we already know. Go with it.
I have two.
Oh, nice.
What is it?
This Saturday, 4/17, uncensored with the real Mike.
He texted you, didn't he?
No, he doesn't. No, we don't communicate it. We only talk the day of the show.
Oh, you want me to call him? I'll call him.
Oh, you won't answer.
No, I don't.
He won't answer.
Call.
Yeah, he won't. Bro, he won't answer.
Twice in one night now.
4/17/21, uncensored with the real Mike the Cop from 8 to 10 in The Unknown Detective.
8 to 10.
Boy.
8 p.m.?
8 p.m.
And your second
Nighttime show.
And your second plug?
www.proudpig.blue. If you're not patrolling with the pig, you're doing it wrong.
Attaboy.
As always, hydrocanine.com. If you're out in the Scottsdale, Arizona area this weekend, they're having the Desert Dog Canine Trials. My partner Scott's going to be out there this weekend doing some judging for the 2-day event out there. So if you're out there, go check it out. And you'll see some great dogs. They got some dogs that come all over from the West Coast. Probably going to have about 20, 30 teams out there competing, the different types of canine events. So if you're out there, go check it out. It'll be a good time.
And you won't be there because your balls are still broken?
No, I won't be there just because I got too much going on here. Way too much. Way too much. So
What do you got going on, bro?
Busy is good.
no, my house.
Busy is
My
good.
house. My house.
He's putting in a Christian room.
No,
So it's
You're putting a padded room in your house.
Actually, I put a couple new doors in the house, so I reinforced the.
to keep Christian out.
Is that the room where you feed your guinea pig to your cats? Oh no! What?
What? Hold on.
Guinea pigs are good because they nibble on your sphincter.
First of all, the cat loves to taste a guinea pig.
Brothers before others. We're currently doing our fundraising for our National Flower Fund. If you go, Chris, you put the link in the comments. Perfect. If you go to our Facebook page, we send a flower arrangement to every line of duty death funeral, no matter where it happens in the country. We've been doing that since 2014. If you would like to contribute to that, Chris hopefully successfully put the link to that fundraiser in the comments. Chris, yeah?
No,
I did already.
No, it's not there.
It is there.
It's not there. I'm watching. It's not there.
You gotta click on it.
Refresh it.
Enhance.
You got an old ass computer anyway, so.
Old ass computer.
It's the cornerstone of what we've been doing as a charity since we began. There's nobody else in the country that's doing that.
Nobody in the world.
There's actually two, us and the New York Yankees. And the New York Yankees were 2 years behind us, and they don't even do everybody in the country. So yeah, it's something. It seems so simple, and it's not.
Yeah, I'm not into sports like that. So
I like pizza and cats.
no, I like health.
Chris, I didn't step on your plug. Please don't step on my plug. Thank you. It seems so simple, and it's really not. We're spoiled by being in areas where there are large police departments, and you go to these funerals, and there's a huge amount of support. That's not the way it is around the country. And sometimes our flower arrangements are one of a few that get out there, and it's important that these families know that this thing we do really is a family, and that is a very tangible sign of that, to see a flower arrangement show up to their loved one's funeral from people that don't even know them, never met them, but it's a tangible sign that, hey, listen, we're here for you, we're thinking about you, we recognize your loved one's sacrifice. The National Flower Fund, again, we're raising for it. Hopefully, Chris, please Lord Jesus,
Bro, right
have
there,
put the
right.
link. It or maybe it's in there, maybe
We
it's
don't,
not.
we don't really know.
It's there. I clicked on it. It works.
It does work. All right, Johnny has assured me that it's
All
worked. Please consider donating to that. Again, everything is it comes from our pockets, and it's not an easy thing to sustain. Anybody that runs a 501c3 knows we are in a constant state of fundraising. So yeah, that's my plug.
I think I want to do my plug first going forward because I see the guys that are watching goes down and down and down, and when I get to my plug,
Tell me, nobody gives a fuck.
there's not. They don't, right? They don't give a fuck. Well, so
People come to his meet and greet.
The fuck were you drinking tonight?
lineofdutycigars.com.
Right?
Yeah.
This is 2 weeks in a row. We broke them. We broke them.
www.lineofdutycigars.com.
I know someone that could do it if you want.
I'll do your cigars in your pussy. I will not put cigars in your pussy.
I'm not even saying that. You say that yourself. I ain't just a Christian woman.
Well, yeah, if you want cigars there, I put them there. Just saying. www.lineofdutycigars.com.
ruined.
It dropped, right? Done? Just finished?
If you want the unknown in your pussy.
Jacob. www.lineofdutycigars.com. All right. If you're doing a cigar event, you're doing a golf outing, you're doing a fundraiser, we will fucking kill anyone else for those prices. Hit me up at LODcigars.com. Let me know what you're doing, and we will hook you up. Thank you for watching the show. Hope we didn't piss too many people off.
Next show,
we do what we do.
420.
Next show is April 20th with Lenny DePaul. Retired U.S. Marshal, Manhunters, Fugitive Task Force, Hunting Hitler, Hunted. This guy's a fucking savage.
Chris finds
this guy's a savage.
Does he hump?
Oh, he's hunted the worst of the worst.
Yep.
And that's what he's done his whole career.
Yep.
Getting the fucking animals off the street. And Lenny is going to be on the show. We might have him in the studio. He may be video. We're not really sure yet. But guys, if you're a marshal, if you worked in HIDA, if you worked in the regional task force, you'll know Lenny DePaul, Manhattan, fucking on point. Get it. Watch what we're doing. Get it.
420.
J-Mo, take it out. Take it out, guys. Bye.
If you are searching for a doctor that truly cares about your overall health and well-being, contact Dr. Alex at Tri-State Health and Wellness. For more than 11 years, Dr. Alex has been treating law enforcement professionals and their families while focusing on one-on-one care so you never feel rushed. All necessary testing can be conducted during your visit, and they feature flexible hours and appointments to accommodate alternating work schedules. Tri-State Health and Wellness is conveniently located in Fair Lawn, New Jersey. Contact Dr. Alex today by visiting www.bluetristate.com. Mortgages for everyday heroes. From Michelle Hendershot and Homebridge Financial Services. If you're looking to purchase a home or refinance an existing mortgage, Michelle Hendershot can assist you every step of the way. With over 10 years of experience assisting law enforcement officers with their dream of owning a home, the choice is simple. Contact Michelle Hendershot today. Visit www.mortgagesforblue.com. Are you tired of sleeping alone each night? Feeling sluggish during the day? Is your snoring keeping your spouse awake at night? If you find yourself spending too much time on the couch, maybe it's time to visit Dr. Michael Doblin of At Home Sleep Solutions. Dr. Doblin is the preferred sleep apnea doctor of New Jersey's law enforcement officers. With the help of a custom-fitted oral device, you can finally say goodbye to noisy, antiquated sleep apnea machines. For more information and to schedule an appointment today, contact Dr. Michael Doblin. Visit www.bluesnore.com. Moment of Silence, Inc., along with Blue Suicide, is a nonprofit organization founded to support and raise awareness about the epidemic of suicides amongst law enforcement military personnel, and first responders. For more information on how you can help, visit momentofsilenceinc.org. If you're in the market for a new vehicle or a certified used vehicle, then visit Fetty Auto Group, located at the junction of Route 46 and Route 3 in Clifton, New Jersey. Fetty Auto Group stands shoulder to shoulder with the men and women in blue. Stop by and ask for Troy Mall and ask about the offers for first responders. For more information, visit FettyAuto.com. That's FettyAuto.com. The Blue Magazine, the law enforcement publication by law enforcement professionals for the men and women of law enforcement. The unfiltered voice of law enforcement. TheBlueMagazine.com. Are you patrolling with the pig? If not, you're doing it wrong. Check out all the newest swine swag at ProudPig.blue. They are dirty by design. Check it out now. Visit www.proudpig.blue for all your swine swag. Visit www.proudpig.blue. Resumes by Joe. Owned and operated by retired NYPD second grade detective Joe Federa. With over 20 years of professional resume writing experience and focusing on translating what we do as cops into language that the corporate world can appreciate. We put an emphasis on ensuring that your cover letter and resume will be best received by the applicant tracking system used by most companies today. Check out our website at www.resumesbyjoe.com or call Joe directly at 347-992-4523. Don't forget to ask about the 50% discount for BBO members and most unions across the country. Give us the job of helping you get the job. Contact Resumes by Joe today. If you're a member of the law enforcement profession and are looking to establish long-lasting business relationships with businesses that are blue-friendly, it's time to visit visitblue.com. Visitblue.com features some of the best doctors, lawyers, realtors, as well as other service providers, such as home improvement and financial services. If you are looking for reliable, trustworthy service providers, visit visitblue.com. That's www.visitblue.com. Founded in 2014 by retired NYPD police officer Michael Burke, Brothers Before Others is a national 501c3 law enforcement charity comprised solely of both sworn and retired police officers. Since their inception, Brothers Before Others has sent floral arrangements to the services of all line-of-duty deaths, regardless of where in the country they occur, having spent over $350,000 to date. While the National Flower Fund remains their cornerstone, their benevolence has since grown well beyond that, even into the civilian world. For more information on how to get involved or to donate, visit brothersbeforeothers.org, or you can visit their public forums on all social media platforms by searching Brothers Before Others. Founded in 2016 by professional musician Neil Giraldo, 3-Chord Bourbon has developed a process that is defined as the perfectly tuned taste, blending carefully selected whiskey bourbon and rye whiskey stocks from Kentucky, Tennessee, and Indiana. Designed to be enjoyed with friends and family, 3-Chord Bourbon will leave you with the same feeling you experience after hearing that perfect song. You'll know their whiskeys are right from the very first sip. For more information on 3-Chord Bourbon and available merchandise, visit 3chordbourbon.com. Line of Duty Cigars, owned and operated by retired NYPD Detective Tom Werther. Visit lineofdutycigars.com for our handmade Nicaraguan cigars, custom ashtrays, custom humidors, and custom flask sets. Also, when you place an order, you choose the law enforcement, first responder, or veteran charity, and Line of Duty Cigars donates 10% to that organization. Planning a special event? Contact us today. Visit www.lineofdutycigars.com.